Sprugs?
I can't see him now. It's green. There we are.
Gucci.
Your turn.
Alright, so she's kind of on a slightly less talking biz today.
Well, you're in our title. You're first, so.
True. Okay, so just to explain what today is going to be, obviously. What? What do you want me to do?
Welcome to the stream.
Welcome to the stream. I'm Wren.
I'm Rhodes. Blink and flip.
And this is our fourth stream, as you can see from the title. I look at him. Thierry liked it. He's so gay.
We haven't said nothing yet.
He said, "I'm here." But nah, so for those of you, if you are recurring viewers, obviously in the last one we did Yumi's political compass test, so today we're going to do mine.
Yeah, the last stream was a bit of a mess.
Yeah.
I get nervous, as I kept on saying. And what I realised after watching that stream is that I kept interrupting Dion. And at times it really made me look quite bad. It was completely unintentional. It's not like an emotional thing, it's just the case that I suffer autism quite badly, and then stress usually. It's difficult to focus on a lot of different things all at once. So yeah, there was nothing, there's no malice intended, it just kind of happened.
Yeah, I just want to put it out there. She is normally a lot more eloquent, and she does articulate very well, but we hadn't streamed in a while, obviously, so nerves kind of just get the better of you sometimes. I'm a little bit more used to public speaking than she is because of being at uni and things like that. I have to talk on calls quite a lot.
Moving forward, we'll just be a bit more relaxed and low-key, so hopefully it won't be much of a problem in future. Okay.
Yeah. Alright, so like I said, we're going to be going through my political compass test. That's what we're going to be...
That'll be towards the end, though.
Yeah, we're going to be doing that at the end.
Got other stuff.
First, we're going to be going through a little bit of MCU stuff, because Yumi and I have been watching it together because she had never seen it before.
Yeah, we're not yet done, though. We've got quite a lot of films. We're about 3/4 of the way through.
We are up to...
Ant-Man.
Well, yeah, we've watched Ant-Man. Tonight is Civil War.
Yeah.
But so what we're going to be doing...
I'm just going to be talking about the what I think of them, like, generally, because I've got different opinions based on the... It depends on the film, really. Some of them I thought are cracking, others are a bit shit. Cracking. And I'm sure I'm probably not alone with that opinion.
But no, what we've done with this is, because obviously I have watched MCU stuff before.
You watched them in order of theatrical release.
When I first watched them, I obviously watched them in order of theatrical release. But with Yumi, I wanted to do something different. We're not doing them in spaghetti order. We're not doing them in theatrical release order. We're doing them in chronological order in terms of when the film is set and when they appear in the timeline.
Which means Captain Marvel was the second one I ever watched,
rather
than
so
like the 16th.
We started with Captain America, then Captain Marvel, so on and so forth. So yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to just quickly go through the ones that we have watched so far, and... Do you want to do them like?
I can't remember what order they were, so you can. I'm gonna.
For a minute. I'm gonna pull it up for a sec.
But I mean, I remember them enough to like have a general opinion. But I mean, it's unpopular opinions though, because I'm always that person who doesn't really like what other people like, and I tend to like what other people don't.
Sometimes we do line up with that though. Like we agree on the Batman films.
Yeah, Batman and Robin is great.
And we
I don't know why it gets so much hate. The bat nipples are all right.
And we agree that Megadeth is better than Metallica.
Yeah.
That's one that most people
kind
get.
Of.
Like...
I mean, in terms of consistency, they're definitely like Metallica really shit the bed for like a whole decade, whereas Megadeth, they'll occasionally have a bad album, but then they'll be right back up again.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, so starting off, the first one, obviously Captain America: The First Avenger, which was set in 1942.
That one was a bit kind of. I mean, when I first saw it, I thought it was great. I really enjoyed it, but like having seen all like others after it, it's a bit meh compared to like some others. I'll get into those.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, it's a bit meh. It's a bit average. At the time, I thought it was really good, but then like the bar was kind of exceeded by later films.
Yeah. No, I honestly I kind of agree there, and also there are some bits of Captain America where it's just a bit of a slow burner. Like it has bits that are just like really cool, but then there are others where it does kind of drag a bit. You know, like when he's doing the all the dancing on stage in like various cities across the US and
I
stuff.
think they
That is
tried
a bit
to
of a slow
like
burn.
tie it in with like the Patriot kind of thing because he's
Yeah.
like big famous soldier guy, and America tends to do that. They tend to commercialize like patriotism sometimes. So you know,
Definitely.
it'd be like "Hoorah, America," you know. So yeah, they wanted to like have him as a mascot. If there was really like a Captain America on this planet, I think America would probably do that. They probably would like start selling action figures
Probably.
and sending him out on tour to like talk to
It's
people.
capitalism, though, isn't it? You know.
I mean, celebrities kind of do that now. Like, I mean, Kim Kardashian's probably got like a Barbie doll somewhere, and she goes on tour and talks to people, and you know, it's just it depends. I don't know.
Okay, so the next one.
I'll shut up.
So the next one chronologically was Captain Marvel, which is basically
Yeah, like,
1995.
This was a big victim of like the anti SJW like Gamergate shitlord crowd.
Yeah.
Because they didn't like Brie Larson as a person, they just kind of like shit canned the entire film, and I don't know, because I really loved it. The message was great. Brie Larson looks awesome in that film. The visuals are incredible. It is quite funny. I did get a chuckle out of Stan Lee reading a Mallrats script on the train in the cameo, because if you've seen Mallrats, you know that he's in Mallrats too. So it ties like.
It's a cameo in a cameo.
It ties the viewer skew verse, if you will. You know the Silent Bob. What? Fuck.
Jay and Silent Bob.
Jay and Silent Bob. Yeah, it ties that universe in with like the
Dogma
MCU.
as well, yeah.
So yeah, that's.
Okay, so the next one. These are two that we haven't actually watched together because she had already previously seen them, so we kind of skipped over them. But Iron Man and Iron Man 2, set in 2010 and 2011, respectively.
As most people would probably say, my favourite Iron Man is the first one. It just tends to be that way. I don't remember the second one terribly well, although I have definitely seen it when I was a bit younger. And all I remember is Mickey Rourke just whipping everything on a racetrack, and I think Iron Man was in the Middle East at one point, and he made friends with a little boy. I remember that. And they stopped some jihadi cell group together. It's a long time ago. But no, I definitely remember Iron Man 1 being the better of the two. And from what I've seen the third one as well, and it is the best of the trilogy. I would say the third one is the second best, and personally Iron Man 2 is probably my least favourite of the Iron Man films. Again, people might differ on that. People might say that Iron Man 3 was absolute shit, because I've seen that being said on the internet. But based on my personal viewing experience, then I would put the first Iron Man first, third one second, and second one third.
Again,
Yeah.
funnily enough, I'm in agreement there. As cool as...
Although it was funny though, because you remember that they had that big terrorist evil dude, and he was making propaganda videos, and then you find out it's
Trevor Slattery.
shitty British actor, and
Yeah,
he's just like there with a can of coke. All right, guys, how's it going?
I was on drugs,
All right?
and they got me off the street, and did they get you off the drugs? No, they gave
Yeah,
you more.
it was insane. I that was really funny because it like blew up this whole like, because he looks quite intimidating when you look at these jihadi like crazy like.
They were called the
movies.
Mandarin.
The Mandarin, yeah, and he looks like a sort of big boss dude, and then you find out it's like just a shitty out of work actor that they repurposed.
Mm-hmm.
That was quite a funny one. I mean, I know on the internet some people were really pissed off with that reveal. They were like, "Oh, you could have done so much more with the Mandarin."
I thought it was brilliant.
But I thought it was funny as hell. Like,
Yeah.
just
No, I'm actually in agreement.
it was a big satire about how America likes to like cloud people's visions on what. I mean, to be fair, it wasn't America making those propaganda movies, but like America does do that. They try and make people look a lot scarier than they actually are. And that's why we fear like stuff like ISIS as much as we do. They are horrible people, obviously. That's a given. But America does do the whole like, you know, fear, you must be afraid all the time. Like all, you know, and it's nice to see like Iron Man 3 sort of take the piss out of that a bit. So it's quite nice.
But yeah, no, I'm actually in agreement with you in terms of like which ones are the best. I do like the first one the most, and although for me, I think the second and the third one are equally as good and as bad as each other.
I don't know.
So-
I think it really is like a drop off though. Like the first one is like up there, like way up, like a 9 out of 10 kind of thing, and then like it just goes like the others after that are just both kind of average.
I gotta be honest, the best part of the second one is where he's in the donut and Nick Fury wants to talk to him and he's like, no, I don't want to join your super secret boy band. That's that's one of the best parts of that film.
Because when you look at later events, that is quite funny.
Yeah. Okay, the next one, a bit of a disappointing one in my opinion, The Incredible Hulk.
Yeah,
Set
that
in
is
set in 2011.
that is the worst one, and you know why? It's because it doesn't really feel like an MCU movie next to
No,
the
it
others.
doesn't.
Because they've kind of just shoehorned it in, haven't they? Because it's the oldest of the bunch. I think it came out before Iron Man, even, didn't it?
Hang on.
I'd be very surprised if that came out after Iron Man.
I'm gonna have to look at the release dates on that.
The effects were like not quite there.
It came out 2 months after Iron Man,
Oh,
but same
I
year.
don't know. It's just the effects and everything. It's a bit more dingy than the others, and I don't know. I just didn't get like a epic, grandiose kind of Is that the word?
Grandiose.
Whatever, grandiose. Yeah, it doesn't have that factor that the other films always have. Even the more crap ones, you know. Like,
Also, we didn't get Edward Norton back as Hulk,
no,
but I actually prefer Mark Ruffalo.
Edward
as
Hulk
Hulk.
is a amazing actor.
He's a
though.
fantastic actor, but I prefer Mark Ruffalo.
Because I showed Dion last night American History X, and
yeah.
so yeah, Edward Norton, he's got incredible range playing all types of people that you love and hate in equal measure sometimes.
Okay, next one again, also based in 2011, Thor. The first
Thor.
one.
It's not the best Thor film. I mean, I haven't even seen Ragnarok yet, but I can tell it's going to be a fucking blast. Dark World was actually the one I preferred. I know, again, like, controversial.
That is actually way
Dark World was
controversial.
actually just a bit more. I mean, it's because I'm a bit of a simp for Christopher Eccleston. People will say he's difficult to work with and he's a grumpy arsehole.
He's also really autistic.
But I
though,
love
so,
him.
like, you
I
relate.
love him. He's my doctor. And I relate to him on so many levels because I can tell when he's got that grumpy look on his face. I can tell he's a man at work. Like me. He grew up as a like a working class lad. Didn't have much to be proud of. But still, we carry on walking, and that's what he did.
Yeah,
And I could have worded that better, but you know what I mean.
that's
Christopher
interesting.
Eccleston is awesome, and he deserves a lot more respect.
Now, I actually think Thor.
But
Dark
apparently
World,
he fucking hated being in that film.
Yeah, I mean, can you
He
blame
fell
him?
out big time with the production crew and everything.
Mm.
I think mostly it would have been probably just the makeup, because that makeup looks like it took fucking ages.
Mm.
I don't know was it makeup or CGI, but
I think it was mixture of
Mixture
both,
of both.
actually.
But yeah, I
might be
mean,
wrong.
if he was in that chair for like 6 hours a day, then you can't blame him for being a bit miffed.
Can we just talk about actually we'll talk about it when we get to Thor Dark
But then
World.
again, I suppose other people would say that like lots of other actors are usually in chairs for like hours on end, and they don't like fly off the handle.
He's autistic.
Again,
though.
Eccleston, he's had a tough life. If you've read because I've read about him, he's got a book, I Love the Bones of You, and that's like heartbreaking to read, like his upbringing and the amount of pressure he had to come through.
Is that where he talks about his anorexia as well?
He feels a lot of guilt to do with his father as well. I won't go into it because I don't want to spoil it, but it's a very tragic story, and you respect the guy a lot more once you've read about it. And for that reason, I give him a pass. He can be as much of a twat as he wants. It's Christopher fucking Eccleston.
What I will say is, in terms of the first
Fantastic.
Thor film.
Sorry.
Nice pun there. In terms of the first Thor film, personally, it's one of the really funny ones for me. Like when his friends fucking.
Oh. Yeah, sorry, you wanted me to give my opinion on the first Thor. Yeah, it was great. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'll stop there. But yeah, it was nice. I liked it.
Dark
World was a bit better for me. But...
when his friends come down from Asgard and they're like, "Found you!" When he smashes the coffee cup, another.
Idris Elba as well. He's a cool motherfucker.
As Heimdall,
like the watcher of the Rainbow Bridge things.
Yeah, he is so badass.
And yeah, I love him. I actually, based on that performance, I think he'd make a terrific Bond. I wasn't really really on that train before. I was a bit like, and it's not because of his skin Don't start. It's
Nobody
just
asked. It's okay. No
I
problem.
for some reason I just thought like what like I mean, because at the time I think Tom Hardy was also being like sort of touted as the next Bond,
And Benedict Cumberbatch
yeah,
and Tom Hiddleston.
and I was like all those lots seem like, and I think it's only because I saw more films with those people in. I hadn't seen much of Idris Elba, and it's only recently seen stuff like Thor and Pacific Rim that I've kind of warmed up to him, and I think like he could actually be a really good Bond. You know, I think it'd be a cool. I mean, I don't really care who they end up casting because they tend to always make really good decisions with Bond. Like I've never really disagreed with any of the actors, even George Lazenby, who's my least favourite. I can see why they went with him.
Yeah.
What? Sorry guys, we're in the red.
Oh no.
Oh no. Okay, sorry about that little blip. What was I on about?
You were talking about Idris Elba as potential James Bond.
Oh, for fuck's sake, why do you keep going in the red? The one time I've got my shit together and you're doing this.
Yeah, if it's not human error, it's fucking tech issues. It's always the way it is.
We're dropping frames like a motherfucker. We seem to be back in the green, right? I'm going to just hold on as much as I can. In fact, I'll leave it on that just because to watch it. Yeah, what were we on about?
With Idris Elba as potential Bond, you liked him as Heimdall. Here we go.
What are you doing? Sorry, the software is really screwing with me. Okay.
It seems to be fine now.
But yeah, so yeah, after seeing his performance in less of a Pacific Rim, more of like him as Heimdall, yeah. I think he'd be a great for Bond. But I mean, he was really cool in Thor. Like he just had this icy cold stare, and you could tell he was a man of his business, and he didn't say much, but when he did speak, you listened. I like that as like because he's like a watchman, isn't he? He's not supposed to talk much.
You know, he kind of just like sees all.
Bit of buffering. I'm just going to ignore that for the time being because it seems fine according to your brother.
Yeah, it's kind of just doing its own thing.
So yeah, no, Thor on it's a bit like the first Avenger kind of. It was good. It was decent, but like I really think, especially when I watch Ragnarok, that opinion's going to change because Ragnarok apparently for most people it's right up there in their top 5s of the best. So
yeah. Okay, next one, set in 2012. The Avengers Assemble.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty great. Yeah, I mean that was the first one that actually kind of raised the bar. I was just like, wow, especially there's the one scene where they have like a continuous break. There is no cut, like.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do that a lot with the big films.
It was like a long ass take, and you're like, how the fuck did you manage that? Because you have to remember, like 90% of these films are all CGI, so they often have to chop this stuff up just to make it like fit properly. And but for some reason, somehow they managed to fit a take that it went on forever, and it was quite beautiful.
Yeah, the continuous takes they do they're fantastic. Honestly, I love it when we get one in each film, and they're so great, honestly.
Is the first Avengers film the one with the joke about the zucchini?
No, that's Age of Ultron.
Oh, okay. We'll get to that. That's a good joke. People know what I'm on about, probably, if they've seen the...
Okay, we kind of already spoke about this one, but Iron Man 3 set in the same year, so...
Yeah, my opinion stands on that. Yeah, they know about it. Yeah. Skip it.
Okay, again, we're on to Thor: The Dark World. Now, we obviously already know your opinion on it.
Eccleston. I loved it. I mean, yeah, it was a bit drab and dreary, but I liked it. The story was good.
I personally don't like it that much. Like, there's some funny bits, and there are some good bits, but I feel like it just dragged on so much. And then within like 5 minutes, everything kind of happened, and it was like, oh, okay, that's the end.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it rushed suddenly.
Yeah, it
Plus,
was like...
I mean, isn't Black Widow supposed to be like the most powerful like entity in the fucking universe at one point?
Black Widow?
Yeah. Isn't she supposed to be the Wanda of WandaVision? That thing I've not seen yet.
What?
Apparently she's supposed to be fucking near omnipotent.
Black Widow?
Yeah. Have I got my information wrong?
Yeah.
Okay.
Black Widow wasn't even in Dark World.
No, she's in... I'm going forward a bit. She's in Age of Ultron. Obviously, that's... Never mind, reverse. It's okay.
I'm so confused. So
I'm sorry, I went off.
Yeah, I honestly have no idea what you're talking about.
It's fine.
Okay, so the next one is Winter Soldier, Captain America. Set
Awesome.
in 2014.
Yeah, I love the story. It was a great story. I love the espionage and yeah, I love the political angle it takes. It's like a very serious take on like what happens when a country just slips headfirst into like fascism. Also the need for like privacy, you know, like because they have this big plot where everybody's privacy is just gone. You know, they can identify anybody, and that's how you get rid of all the superheroes. And then I think that's the plan. I remember a lot, but yeah, could be wrong.
They were gonna cull the population who weren't like considered to be high achieving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's like real fascist shit right there. That's
that's eugenics, like
very,
for real.
Once again, actually, I think this was the first film we saw that I saw Black Widow in.
No, because she's also
Avengers.
in Avengers, and she's also in Iron Man 2.
No, well, okay, maybe why that thought came into my head is because Black Widow is the one that probably shined the brightest in Winter Soldier.
Yeah, she was really great in Winter Soldier.
Like, because I remember that where she's like cosplaying as like the old lady, and then she just fucking rips that wig off and just goes like beast mode.
She had that like fake face on, yeah.
Yeah, that was fucking class. I love that bit. That was the coolest shit.
Yeah, no, that's a good film.
Plus, there's that scene, isn't there, where they're all trying to lift Mjolnir, the hammer, and
that's Age of Ultron.
See, this is the problem. This is the problem. I can't.
Yeah, no.
I have bits of memories flooding into my head.
Yeah, no, that's Age of Ultron.
Okay, so Winter Soldier. What else do I remember? You fucking trolled me big time. Because I thought, I thought that what's his name again?
Nick Fury.
I thought Nick Fury was fucking dead for good.
She thought he was.
And he'd been in a couple of films.
Yeah.
Like, how the fuck is he dead already? And you're just looking at me with an icy cold stare, like, he dead.
Yeah, I didn't give her anything, and then I kind of was like, I played along with it. I was like, no, like.
And then like one and a half hours in, fucking, I felt like a right idiot because there he was. Fine. Yeah,
there's going to be lots of opportunities for me to do that with you, to be honest. I've done it a couple times with Loki as well, where you think he's dead, but he's not really fucking dead. Like, that motherfucker just does not stay dead, for real. But yeah, no, I have been trolling her. I have been trolling her quite a bit with the deaths in MCU as to who's actually dead and who's not. Like, who's permadead. And...
Yeah, that's why I don't believe it anymore. You'll tell me somebody's dead, and I'll be like, no, they ain't. I won't believe it till I see it.
Yeah, but then there's going to be that one time where you're not going to believe it, but they're really dead.
The internet has ruined, like, a lot of deaths for me, because I now know that a lot of people are going to die in, like, Endgame and Infinity War. So thank you, internet.
Well...
I don't know how they're going to die, and I've heard it's emotional, but I haven't seen it, so I don't know. But yeah, it's been kind of ruined for me.
Okay.
Then again, the films have been out for a fucking while, so what should I expect?
True. All right, the next one's set in 2014, our years. Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2.
Both of them together? If we're gonna force them both together, then they are the best. Particularly Volume 2, I fucking loved it. I cried. I fucking laughed my ass off. And yeah, like I love the whole retro aesthetic it's got going for it as well. Like. The idea of like this guy who's got like all he's got left of his mum is like a tape cassette, and it's full of like funky jams, you know, the awesome mix, and I love it.
Yeah. And
it's an old fucking cassette player, like a Walkman, and juxtaposing that with like future tech of like spaceships and stuff is like really cool. Also, Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell. You know, Big Trouble in Little China. I don't know if you've seen that.
No, can't say I have.
No, he's an 80s legend. He's like a proper like dude. You know,
dude, bro.
It really is. It really pulled me in. I loved his character. Obviously, I mean, he's a bit of a dick in the film, obviously, but that's what he's supposed to be. But you know, it was played really well. So Kurt Russell's a really good actor. That fucking Badger dude.
Rocket, and he's a raccoon.
Really funny raccoon. Yeah. Obviously. I used to fucking like despise Groot when I saw all the toys and stuff and the plushes in the shops.
She loves him now.
Now I've seen the films though. Yeah, Groot is cool. I like Groot.
Can we
both older Groot and the younger Groot?
Yeah,
Groot.
Honestly,
I am Groot.
I think in the first one, the thing that I liked most about it was that it was one of the first times we actually see Thanos chronologically.
The interesting thing about those two films in particular is because we both saw them with fresh eyes because you'd never watched them either.
I actually, I had never...
For some reason, you thought you could skip them.
Yeah, I actually skipped over Guardians when I was first going through the MCU stuff because a lot of it, if you watch them in terms of cinematic release rather than chronological, a lot of it is stuff that you will just learn from other films. So it's not necessary, but honestly, watching it in chronological, it's made so much more sense, and I'm actually a bit miffed that I didn't watch them the first time. But...
So you definitely think they're not worth, like, they shouldn't be skipped? Then.
No, I definitely think they should be watched, because like I said, in the first one, when watching them in chronological order, it's the first time we see Thanos. Because he's fucking...
See Thanos? I mean, I heard his name said a lot.
No, do you remember he was sat in the chair?
I see.
And,
I mean...
Nebula was like, I'll fucking do whatever you want, Dad, because...
Oh, yeah. No, okay.
Yeah.
I completely forgot. I was going to say, like, we saw a lot of his daughters, but we didn't... I don't think we saw Thanos. But
no,
then,
it's the first time we actually see Thanos, but obviously we don't know his significance at that moment in time, which is what makes it so interesting.
No, for me, I mean, particularly... I mean, Volume 1 is, like, really good. But like Volume 2 blew me away completely. That's like the gold standard. And again, it's funny how the internet opinions, because a lot of people don't like Volume 2. They say it was like too funny and it wasn't serious enough. And I don't know, maybe they just don't like what's his name, James Gunn, I think is the one that directed it. Maybe they just don't like him very much, because I know that these fandoms tend to get a bit like, they hate certain directors, they love others. You know, like, are you a Whedon guy? Are you a James Gunn guy, or are you a Snyder guy? You know, like they pick their camps. And personally, I think like if you just do a good job, then it doesn't really matter. I mean, to be honest, Joss Whedon's a massive cunt in real life. So, but I mean, he directs really well. He's like a really good director. So, and that has nothing to do with him being a piece of shit. So do what you want with that information, but. Yeah. I can see why people wouldn't like certain directors, especially James Gunn, because he's quite a controversial figure. He said some edgy things in his time, and he's put out some movies that have been a bit edgy. I don't know if you've seen Super. It starred the Elliot Page back before Elliot Page was in it. It had the guy from The Office.
Sorry,
you alright there?
I got hiccups.
The guy from the American version of The Office was in it. He was in Juno as well. He played the shopkeeper. I don't know his name, but they'll know, because whoever's... You'll know who it is if you saw a picture of him.
Have spoiler content.
Anything else for Guardians 1 and 2? What was your opinion? We haven't asked you.
I think they were both on par with each other. I thought they were both amazing, to be honest. Although I do have to give a slight edge to the second one, only because Groot is exceedingly more funnier as a child, like rather than an adult. Like exceedingly more funny.
I'll give you that.
But you're gonna love him in late. I already spoke about this with you. You're gonna love him in later ones where he's like an angsty teen. It's fun. It's funny.
Yeah, I can't wait. That's gonna be cool.
It's honestly hilarious.
Emo Groot.
Yeah.
Or like edgy, like chavvy Groot.
It's more of a Kevin and Perry kind of Groot.
Fucking not your dickhead.
Like, you know, like, I'm not your slave, you know, kind of.
Oh yeah.
Kind of vibe.
Well, you're nearly dead.
Yeah, it's that kind of vibe, for real.
Boring.
Hey, what's Tez put in the chat, just quickly? He's been talking, go read it.
Just want to see, like, a Groot just be like, you fucking what, dickhead. Like, you know, like a fucking northern chav.
Oh, you haven't watched
He
Guardians
hasn't watched
either.
You need to watch Guardians.
Yeah, you
mate.
really should. Honestly, I thought they were fantastic.
They're both really good. You'll laugh your ass off too. I can tell, your brother's got kind of like the same sense of humor as me, so he's gonna laugh.
Yeah, no, it's.
I know your brother likes like some jokes that like are not considered savoury amongst the normal public, if you will.
Yeah, I told you about that one that he sent me once, and I was like, I don't know where he got it, but it was
Edgy.
It was pretty edgy. Yeah, I won't repeat it here for obvious reasons. But
Yeah, no. No, they're great films. If you, I mean, what barometer would we set? I mean, yeah, I mean, if you saw Iron Man and you like that, then definitely Guardians is like up there. You know.
All right, the next one, the one that you keep getting confused with other ones.
I don't know if we have Guardians.
I don't know if we have Guardians.
Blu-ray.
Just
I mean, we've got DVDs. I don't get this obsession with Blu-ray. DVDs are fine.
Don't. You're gonna make her go
Your
on.
eyes don't fucking see in 4K. Give me a break.
I can tell the difference between Blu-ray and normal though.
Well, I can't. Maybe my eyes are just fucked.
No, it's an individual thing. Some people can see it, some people can't. Like, that's scientifically accurate.
I'm unlucky then.
Yeah,
It's fine. I don't mind DVDs.
Yeah, it's really crazy.
DVDs are fine.
On it, Tez, just ask Mum because she's meant to be getting the all the Phase box sets.
Aren't
at
they
some
on
point.
Netflix?
No.
Can't you? Well, just go on like fucking Pirate Bay then or something. I'm just kidding.
Don't chill for that on here. We'll get in trouble. But no. Yeah, you don't. I think the only place you can watch them now is on Disney Plus because the MCU is owned by Disney now.
Does your mum have? I mean, why are we trying to?
Why are we shilling for this?
You can buy the DVDs are cheap, aren't they? Like,
Yeah,
they're not that expensive.
Just buy the DVDs. Just tell Mum to buy the DVDs.
Oh my god, no data again. We're still in the green though, so carry on.
Random.
Oh.
Alright, the next one is Age of Ultron, the one you keep getting mixed up.
Yeah, like we see Black Widow kind of come into her own and get like the powers. With the Vision as well. We get the Vision for the first time. He gets brought into.
Who are you talking? Black Widow doesn't have powers.
Not Black Widow. Fucking
Wanda Maximoff.
That's the one.
The Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch. Yeah. That wasn't. She's not the Black. No, Black Widow doesn't have any powers. She's like a ex KGB operative, isn't she?
That's why I'm so confused.
Yeah, like sorry.
That's why I was
Fucking hell.
really confused by what you said before. Like she does. Like Black Widow has no powers. She is a human being.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I got mixed up between her and the redhead. Yeah, no, her story's cool. She's supposed to be like really powerful, like in later installments.
There is like a huge theory that once we're done watching all of the MCU stuff, I want you to watch it. Like it's a YouTube video. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I'll check it out. But my general opinion on Age of Ultron is it's a bit long-winded. It tends to go on a bit. But when it's gone firing on all cylinders, it's quite enjoyable. Sorry, Corona.
My Corona. Sorry, I don't know.
When you're gonna give me some, give me some. When you're gonna give me some, my Corona.
No, I mean I liked Age of Ultron mostly because I love the actor who does the voice of Ultron. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he's fantastic.
Don't know either.
He's in a TV show called Blacklist. I fucking love Blacklist. So good.
I mean, the cool thing about tonight, because we're watching Civil War, is that the actions that are taken in Age of Ultron apparently lead up to like it's basically what leads up to Captain America and Iron Man falling out big time. And I saw that like in Age of Ultron when like Iron Man's like making this super powerful AI and people are a bit like, do you really need to do that?
Yeah,
it's a bit like, should anyone have that much power?
The team
like,
kind of gets split into two where they're like
how
in
Shield
favor or
ended,
against.
because Shield got completely fucking blitzed during Winter Soldier. They just nuked everything. Like, no, we cannot. No. All the nukes are going in the fucking sea.
Well, to be fair, Shield was infested with Hydra.
Yeah,
agents.
infiltrated big time. That film had a great message actually.
Yeah.
Like you can't even if that like all-seeing guy is like on the good team or whatever, if you will, it doesn't mean it can't be corrupted. So this is what that later on when we do the test, and there's that question about like about should you keep an eye on corporations and stuff. that's
Yeah,
kind of supports
absolutely,
that, because otherwise that happens, it gets fucking corrupted big time. But yeah, like I said, the film drags a bit. James Spade, what the fuck?
What about James Spader, Tez?
James Spader. You can talk to him.
I don't think James.
No.
I don't think James Spader is the voice of Ultron. Hang on, what's his name?
You might be doing a bit of like research behind the scenes.
Yeah, he does sometimes.
While you're doing that though, the film kind of dragged a bit, but when it gets good, it gets good.
No,
That's
it is James Spader.
basic
No, you're
bitch
right.
opinion, but yeah.
No, you're right. You're right. You're
James
right.
Spader.
I didn't recognize his name. But yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, he's a really awesome actor. Honestly, Tez, you and I need to watch Blacklist at some point. It's really good.
Cool. Next.
Okay, we're now at the last one that we've seen together, which is Ant-Man, set in 2015.
It was funny. Paul Rudd, the ageless wonder.
The man who doesn't age.
He's
yeah.
like an ageless wonder. Honestly, he looks exactly the same as he did in like Friends, like season 10. Like still. I fucking love the concept of like him having a weapon that can make things smaller and other things bigger. There's that one scene where he's got that toy like train.
The
thing,
Thomas the Tank Engine,
and
yeah.
he fucking just chucks something at it and it just fucking like explodes out of the bedroom like Thomas the Tank Engine coming out of like a, you know, something small. Fucking analogies.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Also, yeah, I liked that like the Falcon gets his ass kicked by like an ant man. Like, that's quite funny.
Yeah, that is actually hilarious, to be fair.
Like, because that's the first time we've seen somebody take on like
Another Avenger
and live to tell the tale. So yeah, I mean, yeah, Ant-Man, I mean, it's a bit fresh in my mind to have like a really good like solid opinion of it, but I mean, it definitely was one of those kind of average sort of really decent, but like it's not exactly fucking Captain Marvel or Guardians 2. I've been told tonight's Civil War is going to be it's going to become one of my favourites, according to Dion.
Yeah, it's emotional, it's badass, it's a little bit long but worth it. Honestly, it's going to be great, because I don't know how many of you have read the description, but today is actually Yumi and mine's 3rd year anniversary. So
yeah, we met on this day 3 years ago.
Yeah, ooh. So tonight is going to be, we have a tradition of ordering a just huge like pizza takeaway for special events. So we're going to be doing that with Civil War. It's going to be great. It's basically a MCU and chill.
That's why today's stream's going to be a bit shorter than it was last time. I'm thankful though that I definitely feel a lot more relaxed than last time. A lot was going on that day.
Yeah.
My mental outlook was a bit screwed up, so I didn't like get to benefit from the atmosphere. It seems this time's perfect though. I feel content enough to, you know, as you can see, I'm not interrupting people left, right and centre and missing out things that other people are saying to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's good. Are we done with MCU?
Yeah, we're up to date.
Any other things? I don't really want to miss anything out and get worried about it.
No, we've covered all the MCU stuff.
Okay, I'm just going to pop up and turn the light on because it's getting a bit dark in here.
Okay.
We're now talking about recent events.
Yeah.
So you've got quite a humdinger, haven't you?
Yeah, we've got some funny stuff. So Ted Nugent, out and out dumbass, who said that the COVID pandemic was a scam.
So, we should explain. Ted Nugent is a sort of like an aging rock star from like the 70s. Cat Scratch Fever.
I'm pulling him up.
Stranglehold, I think, is another song. But yeah, he's basically one of those right-wing sort of rock stars who likes like to just flex all the time about how much meat they eat and just weird stuff.
He really is one of those like.
I'm a meat eater, but I don't go on about it.
No, he reminds me of.
And he's really into guns. Sorry, that's another thing.
Yeah, he's really pro-gun, like, which basically, if you put it this way, that means you're anti-life. Like, let's be fair.
Yeah, but he says he's pro-life.
But it's not.
Like, pro-life up until they get out of the womb and then you shoot them.
You can't be pro-life and pro-gun. Those two things are like.
Yeah, diametrically opposed.
Yeah, they're like completely like they're just antonyms of each other. Like it makes no sense.
That's republicanism for you.
But yeah, he has been well documented as saying that the pandemic is a scam. COVID's not real. It's just the flu.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah, but it was in the news today. I was just flicking through and having a read, and yeah, he's tested positive for coronavirus, and he's been quoted as saying that he's never been so sick in his life.
How'd you like those apples?
Like, imagine spending all this time denying science and literal reality, and then actually getting hit with the reality.
It's not the first though. I mean,
oh no!
You remember when Bolsonaro, like, was
oh yeah, it's not real. It's not real.
It's all a left-wing hoax, and it's like, well, you don't look too peachy now, do you?
Yeah, and
Bolsonaro?
then he went and got COVID.
Same with Trump. Trump was like, I am Superman. I can take on anything, and then he gets corona. And it's only because he had access to the best healthcare that only people who have his kind of money can access, that he actually survived. I don't think Trump would have survived if he hadn't had, like, you know, the best healthcare that the Western world could provide. Like, I don't think he would have survived. But anyway, I'm kind of going off on a tangent. You carry on.
Ted has also been quoted as saying that he thought he was dying.
Karma. That's it.
Like,
my name is Earl. Number 106 got coronavirus.
Yeah. Hang on, I'm just flicking through because there was some other news stuff today that I wanted to talk about, but I can't quite remember off the top of my head.
We should probably go back in time. Like, there's a lot of stuff we didn't talk about at the time because we just didn't find time. We stopped streaming for a good 2 months. Elliot Page came out.
Yeah.
Elliot Page is now representation. Jojo Siwa coming out of that world, you know. I don't know what the fuck I just said, but whatever. Jojo Siwa, yeah, that YouTuber that like talks really fucking quickly and you can barely understand it.
Some of you may know her from the show Dance Moms.
Yeah.
Awful abusive
like,
show.
Big ponytail, yeah, like really fucking like eccentric and happy, like just like a race of like rainbows, which is kind of, you know, on brand, I guess, now. Even. Who else?
Oh, do you want to talk about all the little?
There's more.
Do you want to talk about all the Lil Nas shit that's been going
Lil
on?
Nas X.
Lil Nas.
I'll admit I wasn't really on the train when it came to the Old Town Road stuff. I found the song really annoying after a while because it was just played everywhere. It was one of those earworms you couldn't escape. But I've got a lot of respect for the guy now. Like, he trolled him good. He trolled him good. I mean, the whole Satan Shoe legacy, like, that was incredible. And the Caitlyn Bennett thing, the clapping back, he knows a good put down.
Oh God, yeah. She of all the people in the world, she decided to start beef with Lil Nas of all people, and then he literally just come back at her like, because she did a racism and said, "Oh, how's your dad? Like, do you still know your dad?"
It actually can work two ways. It's not just it probably just isn't like the racist angle of it. It's also like, you know, LGBTQ people tend to be like ostracized from their families. Yeah. So she was also trying to slyly indicate that, like, oh yeah, maybe you don't talk to your dad much anymore because you're gay. So it's like it could be one of those two things. She probably, to be honest, because Caitlyn Bennett's a hateful, like, terrible piece of work. She's rotten to the core. She probably wouldn't have really minded to just have both contexts, really. Any way that she could just, you know how these people work. The more harm you cause, the better. So if you can take care of two negative stereotypes in one go, then you know, more the merrier.
Yeah. Okay. So hang on. Sorry, I've pulled up all the tweets.
I think people know about that whole thing.
No, but I just want to say exactly what she said. So basically,
most people watching they know about those tweets.
Okay, fine. Fine.
No, you can go through them if you like.
No,
come on.
No, it's fine.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
No, we don't need them. It's fine. What else has been recent in the news lately?
All right.
Do we really want to talk about all the lobbying in the British government? Like, do we really?
Well, yeah, the Tories have been caught with their pants down yet again.
Yeah, once again.
And you can do it. I'm not going to do it because last time I got really angry and just jazz hands there.
I am not really equipped to be able to talk about it, to be honest. So, but yeah, long story short, something to do with David Cameron and Matt Hancock, and a company that both Matt Hancock and his sister had shares in were given like contracts and
Yeah, they didn't declare it. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was just
it's all
rank.
fucked
It's
up.
just rank corruption.
Yeah, and can we really trust Boris Johnson to be impartial?
Oh, he's not.
Exactly.
I mean, you heard about the whole PPE thing, don't you? Where they were giving like all the contracts to their mates, rather than to companies that were known for doing PPE properly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, you're trying to get back to chat.
Yeah, Thierry put, did you hear that Pokemon cryptocurrency is official? In what way?
Cryptocurrency is a load of shite.
Hang on, let me pull this up.
So are like non-fungible tokens or whatever, these new things. It's just capitalism overload. I don't see. I don't know.
It's Charizard, really? Wow.
It's just Dogecoin, but fucking Pokemon. Like,
yeah, no, I don't fuck with cryptocurrency, but yeah, okay, that's fair.
right. Anything else notable in the news?
Of course, it's called Pokecoin. I mean, do we want to talk about like what's going on in America at the moment in terms of
What you mean, like mass shootings left, right, and centre? Just
more black people being killed
George
by
Floyd
police?
wasn't enough. They had to fucking like just go and shoot 13-year-olds.
Yeah.
Fucking accidentally fucking taser. No,
Accidentally
other way around.
shoot.
Yeah,
when they said it was a taser.
Like, what kind of fucker can't tell the difference between a taser and a handgun?
I just want to elaborate on that because the thing is,
Come on, really?
it is well known that cops in America do not receive a substantial amount of training for what they have to do in their job.
They're given fucking like
It's literally like a
it's like hoorah kind of trainings. Like, you are these are the enemy. You are the soldier kind of training. You know,
Yeah.
they get given fucking like Judge Dredd kind of training.
Mm-hmm.
Like, act fast, do not think. Like, and yeah.
But yeah,
They're sending the wrong fuckers to the wrong jobs. Like, this dude apparently, just like most of these, you know, the black people that end up getting like into these kind of situations with the police. It started off as fuck all. Like,
it was a
nothing.
traffic
Like
stop
George
because
Floyd.
apparently
The whole George Floyd thing was over like a fake $20 bill. And let's be real, here in the UK, right? I've had fake money before without noticing. You take it in, you try and buy a pack of fucking Maltesers or whatever, and you take it to the till, and they tell you like, oh, this one's fake. And then you just have to go to the bank and say, I'm sorry, I didn't know. Can I exchange it for a real one? And they do it. What doesn't happen is you don't get fucking shot. You don't die from that experience. And in America, if you're white, you could probably get away with that. But no, George Floyd wasn't white, so therefore it just has to happen, doesn't it? It just had to. This is America we're talking about. Sorry,
not to
getting
quote,
twisted again.
Not to quote like Childish Gambino.
Yeah,
Because
sorry,
this is America.
Well, he had a point.
Yeah,
and I think that song is it hasn't lost its relevance, because if anything, it seems more relevant today than it ever has been.
But yeah, I just want to hark on to the issue with Dante, right?
Yeah, you know more about that situation than me.
Essentially, what had happened was it was a traffic stop because they believed, as far as I'm aware, his plates were expired.
Yeah.
So he was trying to call his mother to obviously try and like resolve the situation so she could talk to police, yada yada. And they pulled him out because apparently he had an outstanding warrant. Now, I haven't seen anything...
Yeah, but again, this is the point I've made thousands of times, right? So what if some of these guys, like George Floyd or Dante, right? So what if they're like naughty boys, you know, if they've done some stuff that's like a bit sort of in the grey area of the law, you know? Like, does that really justify them getting killed?
No, absolutely not.
Not at all, I
just want to remind people...
I mean, people always make that thing, don't they, about like, oh, he was no angel.
Yeah.
And it's like, none of them are angels. We're not saying that. We're just saying that you really don't need to resort to killing them every single time.
Let me just politely remind...
Sorry, I'm going to be quiet.
Yeah, let me just politely remind the members of the audience. Police aren't supposed to kill, like, guilty people either. Like, even if you are, like... There have been white people who have shot up places and they've just been handcuffed and given water. Like, but then you've got black people being killed over stupid shit. But yeah, apparently he had an outstanding warrant for an aggravated burglary. That's what I've heard. I haven't seen anything so far that actually proves that. And
for those people, you give them a day in court. You don't fucking just shoot them.
But yeah, so what happened was he tried to run, obviously, because he was fearing for his life. Understandably so, when you're a black man.
Well, yeah, I mean, someone pulls a gun on you, you're going to be like, oh, fuck, I better get out. Yeah. These police don't really have a good record of letting people like me live.
Yeah, like,
so,
I don't agree.
Of course you'd fucking leg it.
I don't agree with him trying to leg it, because obviously, you know, if the outstanding warrant is real, then he shouldn't have. But I also understand.
We're not. Yeah, I mean, to make it clear, we're not anti-prosecution. We're just anti like fucking just killing them just randomly for no fucking good reason.
Yeah. Like, I don't agree with the fact that he tried to leg it, but when you understand the context of how many black men are killed during arrests, or
you can understand they'd be a bit jumpy because they've heard the stories because they echo through the neighborhood all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Because they have to live in fear of it every day.
Yeah.
And again, like the white people in America that you know that are a bit on the bad side of the law, you know, none of those are angels either. But how many of them get fucking shot?
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
no, like I said earlier, that you know, some white dude goes to a shop to try and spend $20 on like a bottle of wine or something. They're not going to get shot. They're not going to get the police called on them. They're just going to get like the clerk's going to laugh at them and say, "Oh, you silly Billy," and then you know they might get a visit from like some government agency somewhere along the line, but they're not going to get fucking like rolled up on the sidewalk. You know, it's bullshit.
But no, yeah. So what happened was he tried to run. I have both. Well, I haven't seen much of the body cam footage.
The video does show him trying to speed away, but again, like that's can you blame?
No, but what?
It's not the right thing to do. I'm not trying to say it is, but like, you know, when you fear your life, you're prone to making stupid decisions, aren't you? You're prone to acting very quickly without thinking.
But yeah, he tried to flee after being detained, and the woman was yelling taser, 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 but then she fired one round and killed him. Now the thing is that I want to point out, there have been so many racist, and they're nothing but racist, because there's no way to justify this unless you hate black people. I'm sorry.
Well, the court is out on her as a person. We don't know if she's actually like racist.
But the people who
it
were
could
defending her situation,
it could, and I'm playing devil's advocate here. It could have been an absolute honest mistake. She should still face charges for it.
I disagree, and I'm going to tell you why.
Well, I'm not saying concretely that is the case.
Let me explain. You see, the thing is, when cops are being trained, the actual chief of police of the department where she worked, I should say, they are trained to carry their firearm, their gun, on their dominant side. So if you're right-handed, your gun is on your right side, and your taser is on the opposite side.
Okay.
So she knew
if she had any adequate training at all, you think she would be able to tell the difference between left and right?
Well, yeah, if she's left-handed, her gun's on her left side. She would have had to reach around to the other side to pull out her gun or her taser. That
is rather compelling. I'll now finish my point. Let's just say, like, on a crazy like level, that maybe it was an honest mistake. I mean, yeah, she might not be racist, but like, it's a well-known fact that police stations left all up and down that country, and indeed in Britain, we've had known racist in the party, in these. Help me out here. The police is riddled with racism.
Oh yeah, no, like it's still a thing here. Like I hear so many like people trying to say that there's no racism.
Can you get that news story up of that actual neo-Nazi that was in the police up until recently? Yeah, because that was in the news, and that's exactly what I mean. The dude basically just infiltrated the police, and he was a member of some kind of crazy like I think it's National Action.
Yeah,
some
it was
European like far right cell group.
Yeah, it was a dude. What's his name? Benjamin Hanam was his name.
Yeah.
And or Hanam, however you want to pronounce it.
And people in this country will still say that racism is not a problem, and I'm pretty sure a lot of our American listeners will also. They would have heard similar things in their country of people telling them that racism's dealt with. How can stuff like that exist and people still be so blind to the fact that racism is not dealt with?
He was a member of the banned National Action Group. Yeah.
Because you can imagine if that guy got sent out to a job on his own, as a lot of policemen tend to, you know, a lot of policemen will have nights where they're sent out on their own and they're the ones being the peacekeepers. How much shit do you reckon this guy possibly did?
There's more dirt on this.
He could have been harassing like minorities for like ages before people knew what he was. His history.
I do have to point out that the thing with police officers in this country is they have to declare if they are part of any groups like this, whether they be like left-leaning or right-leaning, because they're not allowed to have a bias.
Let me guess.
He lied. He did not tell them prior to his application of a police officer that he was a member of the National Action Group. So that's one of his charges, was lying.
Yeah.
The other charge is actually being in the group because it's illegal because they're fucking neo-Nazi terrorists, like, for real.
Yeah.
And another thing that he got pulled up on, get this, having indecent photographs of a child.
Oh,
so he's
look
also a
at that.
pedophile.
So it's incredible how all these right-wing people who call us all paedophiles always tend to be paedophiles.
Yeah. Yeah, so,
yeah, it's like QAnon.
So he's not only a neo-Nazi, he's also
it's
a
like
pedophile.
it's like QAnon. You know, all those crazy conspiracy nuts who believe that like the Hollywood is like eating children and stuff. You know, and you find that these are always people that are found with hard drives full of CP, like fucking logged with it.
Yeah.
And they're the biggest simps of Trump, who is a well-known friend of Jeffrey Epstein, who is a well-known fucking paedophile.
Yeah.
Who is also connected to the royal family here in Britain. So it's a big tank, and they'd all like to just jump into it while pointing the finger at us. And to be honest, I really think it's just because they think it's icky that I live and I survive. That's the reason why I'm considered a paedophile by them, despite the fact that I've never touched any children. Meanwhile, we've got plenty of evidence to suggest that a lot of the people that they make excuses for, if not them themselves, happen to always tend to more often get accused of this kind of stuff, and often are found guilty of it. Yeah, sorry, that was just me venting frustration on.
But yeah, I knew of him obviously being a neo-Nazi and lying on his application for being a police officer and stuff, but I didn't know about the pedophilia
correlation
thing.
between Nazi and paedophile. Like,
yeah, it's ridiculously high,
you know,
to be honest.
it's quite amazing them how they'll always say, oh, the degenerate culture, you know, like culture is getting like corrupted by all these, you know.
No.
And they're the ones that are the most fucking like. What's the word? They're disgusting morally. You know, they try and like point, you know, finger at you and say you're impure, and I'm like, you're fucking kids.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, I really.
I mean, the worst you'll do is like dye your hair blue.
Yeah.
You know, and start like some college, like safe space or something. Like they fuck kids. I'm sorry. Could I be any more fucking obvious?
I really don't get where like pedophiles just have this like really weird thing where they try to make themselves like they try to make everybody else to be like immoral, like degenerates, when really they're the worst kind of people.
Yeah, that's because a lot of them cling to these far right groups to try and like to get their into their brain so that they can think that they're pure people, but they're not. No, it really is. I think a lot of it is just projection. Sorry, I'll be quiet now.
No, you're right. It truly is projection. But yeah, I can't stand it when I see people in this country who are like, oh, well, you know, black people aren't being killed by the police here, so obviously there's no racism. I'm like, no, it's just the police here don't have as many guns.
This is why I believe every time as a Labour voter that I'm called an anti-Semite. I always tend to think that is an anti-Semite talking to me.
Oh, yeah.
Even though, I mean, controversial, unpopular opinion here, but like there really are like some people who claim to like vote Labour who really are fucking like they hate Jews. Like recently, I met one in Open Gates. He was like a really old chap, and it was quite fucking scary having somebody telling me that they voted Labour for years, and I'm like, how the fuck can you think like you do and still vote Labour? Like, I don't get it. Like, Jeremy Corbyn would fucking hate you. Yeah. Like, most of the Labour leaders for the last 60 years would fucking despise you. Tony Benn would want your balls chopped off. Like,
agreed.
And Tony Benn's not the kind of guy who's like normally aggressive, but like, that's what I mean. Like, it got me so angry because I was like, you tell people that you vote Labour, and that's the reason why people think I'm an anti-Semite, because of the shit you spew while claiming to be a good person. Like, how dare you? I wanted to throttle the guy like in the street, but like obviously social distancing and the law, such as it is, you know, I can't just do that. But it really was quite the experience to have somebody quote unquote on my side, you know, and they were shitting all over my friends. And the second I brought up anything about LGBT people, it was like, oh, they spread AIDS, and I'm like, that's just a hateful fucking conspiracy theory. It's actually mostly like drug addicts back then.
How can this guy be a Labour voter but be like queerphobic and
Yeah, like
anti-Semitic.
it was just weird. It was weird. Like, you know, it was like all the workers' rights stuff, but without the
The gays and the Jews,
with
like
the acceptance. Yeah, like
that,
the diversity.
that's so
It was basically
stupid.
like a fucking. I'm sure you've heard of them, like cryptofash, where they sort of appear left wing,
Yeah.
but then they tack on a bit of anti-Semitism along with their leftism, you know, to make it a bit spicy.
Kind of like
But
how
yeah.
Piers Morgan was a bit crypto
I don't know though.
until
This guy,
recently.
to be honest, this guy's really had like quite a screw loose. He was like in his 70s and he looked like a farmer, you know. Farmers are all right. I'm just saying that this guy, that he's scruffy dude, and he was just spewing just shit out of his mouth. And he honestly, like when I like started confronting him about it, he seemed really surprised. He was like, "Oh, isn't this what everybody thinks?" And I'm like, "No, it isn't. No, it isn't."
I just want to point it out there, you can sometimes shit on farmers, because I mean, my whole, like, so much of my family is farmers. I grew up on a farm, so you have my permission.
I don't think it's fair to. I mean, they put up with a tremendous amount of stress for their job, and they don't seem to get a lot of the credit for it. I actually read recently about the sort of like an epidemic of like suicide within farming communities. They have to put up with such depression, and they get quite isolated out there. And I don't know. I feel sorry for a lot of them.
Yeah, there are some that I really don't feel sorry for. Like, there are some who, one, abuse their animals. Like, that's just straight up. Not, not all farmers.
Obviously,
but
you know,
and
there's no good reason to
again,
do that.
in recent news, I can't remember which supermarket it was. It might have been Tesco. They did an advert about a little girl who came home and told her dad that she didn't want to eat animals anymore. Which, there was no indication that eating animals is bad or immoral. The girl just decided of her own accord she didn't want to do it anymore. The advert did not pick a side. It did not say that eating meat is good or eating meat is bad. It did not pick a side.
Right.
But so many fucking farmers got irate and were calling for the advert to be taken down because it's ruining their livelihood. And I'm like, it didn't say anything either way. It was a completely neutral advert.
That's the thing. I don't agree with forcing like an eating lifestyle on anybody. I wouldn't want veganism forced on me, and I do not force like meat eating on everybody else. I believe everyone should make their own choice in regards to where they stand morally on their consumption habits. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you agree on that, don't you? Because you're allowing me to eat.
Yeah,
meat
like I'm a vegetarian.
You're like
but
hardcore
you're not.
about the vegetarianism,
Yeah.
but you don't really step on my toes, which I'm thankful for.
No,
So,
I mean, like, that's just an area of like free will. Like, I'm not going to force you to eat something that
yeah,
you either don't want to eat. I'm not going to force you to not eat certain things. But what pissed me off was the fact that the advert was a completely neutral advert. It didn't say that eating animals was bad. It was just a little girl who didn't want to eat meat anymore.
yeah, and they got all like, gammon about it.
And yeah, they got really irate about it, saying that you're making farmers look bad. You're ruining our industry. You're stopping people from eating meat. I'm like, no, they're just telling you these are the products we have. Buy them if you want to. Like, that's literally all the fucking advert did.
Yeah.
Like, honestly. Ugh.
We got you. Right, okay, so we're about an hour in.
Yeah, we'll move on to the compass test.
We should, yeah. Sorry if anyone picked that up on the mic. Bit. We're about to do Dion's political compass test.
I am just gonna go grab a drink because my throat's a bit dry.
Can I have a bit of one as well?
You can share my can.
Okay. Okay, so we'll be doing this pretty much the same way as we did not yesterday, last week. Yeah. Hopefully it'll be a little bit more relaxed because we're both a little bit more relaxed today. At least I am. And yeah, I'm not going to be interrupting for a good like 99% of it. I might cut in here and there just to provide like just conjecture where it's available.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sip, sip.
But for the most part, I'm going to be pretty hands off so that Dion can flex herself politically, because these you do have to kind of think, and like I said last time, don't you find stuff about yourself that you didn't realise.
I do just want to put it out there though, I am kind of like still like baby political, like I'm still pretty new, So like,
Yeah, when I first met Dion, like it was basically just like
I was like,
Tory,
I considered myself
Labour, and that was it. There was no like class consciousness.
Yeah,
was...
I considered myself apolitical except for certain
Kinda,
things.
Yeah. No, yeah, Dion was never a like complete knob. Like she wasn't like far right and garbage.
No, I mean, I had opinions on things like, you know, like queer rights, because obviously I'm queer. And,
we should do a stream about that. The whole
my
story
awakening
about like
as
your
a radical leftist.
Your sort of weird past with regards to that, and then like your sort of as you came out and realizing we should do something like that, because we've talked about me being a bit of a reactionary sort of centre right dude in the past.
Back in the day.
I don't know if I said dude, but whatever.
Misgendered yourself.
I know, yeah. Right.
Whilst misgendering me as well.
Terrible. What?
Nothing.
Did I say the S word?
No, but pronouns, darling. Pronouns. Remember the pronouns.
That's what I mean. Yeah, did she?
Yeah, you did. Well, you said herself.
I apologise.
It's okay.
What was I saying before that?
We were talking about how we've already gone through your
we need to do like a extended sort of like, because there's a lot of stuff I didn't talk about with that.
We were actually talking about that last night, weren't we?
I kind of brushed through it very quickly, the whole like my past, and I think it needs a lot more attention in our later streams. So we will do that at one point. It'll be like the redemption arc of Mayumi, if you will. But yeah, let's get on with this. Before taking the test, you need to know this isn't a survey. These are just these aren't questions. They're propositions. That's what it says here.
Yes.
So some propositions are extreme and some are moderate. That's how we can show you whether you lean towards extremism or moderation on the compass. Your responses should not be overthought. Some of them are intentionally vague. Their purpose is to trigger reactions in the mind, measuring feelings and prejudices rather than detailed opinions on policy.
Okay.
I think that's where I went wrong last week, because I kept on like putting those questions into like a context where there wasn't one.
Yeah,
which led to me
that.
possibly maybe next time I take the test it'll be like completely different.
I think what I'm gonna do mine slightly different. I'm gonna do mine slightly differently.
You're gonna want the microphone right near your face, and you're gonna want to speak up. Okay.
Okay.
You want to be loud for this.
But no, I think I'm gonna do mine slightly differently. I think I'm gonna, obviously if I don't understand the question, I'll ask you to like try and explain it.
So.
But I'm just gonna be like, bang. That's my initial answer, and then I'm gonna elaborate on it.
Okay, you've got all the time in the world, and we probably can bang out another half an
I
hour.
just feel like one's first answer is always like the most genuine one.
Yeah.
So.
No, go with your heart, regardless of what people will tell you. If you get cancelled these days for fucking anything, so just go with it, okay?
Yeah.
Just go with what you feel is right.
For saying something is relatively like Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Good, nice meme.
Shout out to Lindsay.
I fucking love Lindsay
Ellis.
Sorry, got it right second time.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, so to start with, just a few opinions on your view of nationalism, the country. If economic globalization is inevitable, it should primarily serve humanity rather than the interest of transnational corporations.
Strongly agree. Because, I mean, what is the point of putting corporations above the actual human beings? Like, a corporation isn't a living entity. It doesn't have feelings. It doesn't care about anything.
Because if there's no more customers to buy from those corporations, then
or there's no more workers to run those corporations.
Exactly,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree completely.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Next one.
Is that it for that one?
Yeah. Next one. We're banging.
Okay. I would always support my country, whether it was right or wrong.
Strongly disagree. Absolutely not. I think one can love their country, but also be able to hold it accountable.
So was your first one strongly disagree also?
No, it's strongly agree, because I agree that they should put humanity above.
Sorry, my weird autism there.
Yeah, no. Sorry, strongly agree.
So that's correct so far.
Serve humanity rather than... Yeah, strongly agree. Yeah, strongly disagree. Yeah.
I promise I'll be more on the ball with this now.
I kind of have a Rammstein stance in terms of how I feel about our country, because they love Germany, like they love their country, but
Deutschland.
Yeah, they love Germany, they love their country, but they're like, yeah, our country's done some fucked up shit.
No, I mean there's no problem with being proud of your country. It's just you've got to also realise where your country's gone wrong in the past.
Absolutely.
Knowledge about your country is how you have pride in your country.
Mm-hmm.
If you ignore all the bad stuff and focus on the good stuff, then that's not really true pride.
Yeah, and also I feel like by ignoring bad stuff, it becomes humanity is doomed to repeat itself.
Well, the Nazis kind of make up their own history, don't they? And that's what you could possibly fall guilty of doing if you just get rid of all the bad stuff and focus on the good.
No, yeah.
You know, if you do a bit of a 1776 commission or whatever, you know, like Trump tried to do. Anyway, I'll shut the fuck up.
All right, next one.
So, strongly disagree with that.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, strongly disagree.
No one chooses their country of birth, so it's foolish to be proud of it.
I am only going to do a soft degree on that because, like I said, you can be proud of your country and like its achievements and, you know, the culture, or even the language, you know, but at the same time, yes, you don't get to choose where you're born, much like a lot of people who were born don't get to choose their religion because they're
quite a lottery, and because of like transnational corporations, you know, it's the lottery tends to be either in your favour or not so much.
But you know, I think it's a soft degree because, like I said, people can absolutely be proud of their country, but I don't necessarily feel like you should be proud of it just because you were born there.
I think that's reasonable.
You should be proud of it for its achievements, not just because of that's where you were born.
Okay. This next one is quite heavy on the loaded terminology.
Okay.
So that last one was agree, right? You agree with?
Yeah, soft degree. Yeah.
It's foolish to be proud of the country where you're born.
Yeah.
Just because you were born there. Okay. Our race has many superior qualities compared with other races.
Strongly disagree. I don't even need to elaborate on that. Racism is bullshit. No one race is better than the other.
Shit.
What did you do?
I've accidentally... Remind me to change that one.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, no, strongly disagree. Racism is bullshit.
Okay, that seems quite obvious. It's a given.
Yeah, I don't even need to elaborate. Racism's bollocks.
Okay, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Try not to put context on it like I did. Try to think about it purely as a proposition. It's deliberately vague.
I'm gonna do a soft disagree, not a hard one though. Like, because I feel like in some cases it's correct, but at the same time, what's to say that the enemy of your enemy isn't also your enemy?
Well, yeah, I mean, this is the point I made last week. I don't see the point in siding with somebody just because they don't like somebody, but they're as shitty as the person you don't like to start with.
Yeah, that's
like,
right.
This is what countries do all the time. Like, we, during before the Iraqi war, we trained, like, the Mujahideen, we and America, to fight Russians for the Cold War or something. And then obviously you know how that history panned out. The Mujahideen turned into Al Qaeda, and so this is what I mean. That was America, like, doing the whole the meme of like the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Yeah. Because they didn't turn out to be good friends. And America, like, they can never keep their word about fucking anything. No. Anyway.
But yeah, it's a soft disagree
so
because
got a soft disagree.
Yeah, because I think in some cases it is applicable, but not in all. So.
Okay. Case by case basis.
Yeah, definitely.
Military action that defies international law is sometimes justified. Think about it carefully.
I'm gonna do
international law.
I'm gonna do a strong disagree there because if the international law is the Geneva Convention, no, you can get fucked. Like, don't. Yeah. Absolutely not.
The agreements between governments are mostly a good thing because it keeps like actual like horrible shit from going on, like the Good Friday Agreement up until fucking recently.
Brexit.
Okay.
But yeah, no, that's a strong disagree. No.
Yeah, anything more on that?
No, I don't think I need to explain that. For those who know what the Geneva Convention is, you know not to break that shit. Don't do it.
Just gonna double check that everything's okay. First page. Okay, there is now a worrying fusion of information and entertainment.
I'm gonna soft agree because it is kind of worrying. But it's not always necessarily a bad thing. Like, I believe we spoke about it for you, that what we're doing right now is information and entertainment.
Kinda, yeah.
So it would be hypocritical to disagree with it, because we're literally taking part in it. But I do also agree...
But I think there's a difference between us and, like, fucking Rupert Murdoch.
Oh, yeah,
for
no.
example.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, one, we're just two normal people sat on a sofa, like...
Yeah, we have, like, 100 subs
you know.
on the channel, and only like a couple of people watching. Rupert Murdoch has like the entire world's like newspapers are pretty much owned by him exclusively. It's like a monopoly of it's an empire of misinformation, if you will, purely for entertainment value.
But yeah, no, I'm gonna do a soft degree because I think there are some things that you just cannot teach through the medium of entertainment. You have to be serious. But I feel like in other ways, sometimes teaching something in an entertaining way is more engaging for people and they learn more. So it's a soft degree.
Okay, page 2.
Mm-hmm.
So now the economy. We're talking attitudes here, not the FTSE index.
Okay, yeah.
So that's the FTSE, the top 100 companies.
Yeah.
So you're not supposed to tailor your opinions to experiences with those companies.
Mm-hmm.
But I know for a fact you've never worked for any of them, so this
I
doesn't
haven't.
really apply to you. This would apply to people that are in those businesses themselves, because it would say it would create a lot of bias where there shouldn't need to be. Okay, so people are ultimately divided more by class than by their nationality.
I'm gonna do a soft degree because, especially like here in the UK, there is
Class
so
is fucking real here in Britain.
yeah, like there is so much division, not only in terms of class, and you know, you got like rich Tory dickheads at the top, and then like literal like homeless people.
Yeah, you know the
But-
type. What's his name? Rees-Mogg.
Jacob Rees-Mogg,
Rees-Mogg.
he has such a punchable face. Like I'm not even like upset saying that. Like he just does. He's a C word. I'm not gonna say the C word, but he's a C word.
Cunt.
Yeah, there you go. She'll say it for me. I won't say it. But yeah, I wouldn't say that they are always ultimately divided by class and by nationality, because racism and xenophobia are also still huge things here. Like, I get bagged on a lot for my nationality because I identify as Welsh rather than British. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of jokes about Welsh. I've made a few.
Yeah,
I
she
have
does.
no hatred in my heart for Welsh people, though. I mean, I'm actually part Welsh. I think my mum's mum is from Swansea.
Yeah, I remember
So
you saying. Yeah.
I do have a bit of Welsh in my blood.
And I'm Welsh as hell. Like, I'm
Um,
basically right back to, like, you know, indigenous Gaelic people. Like, I'm Welsh as hell, always have been.
And obviously, I'm a big supporter of like the miners' unions and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't alive at the time, but I read a lot about their history, particularly the years of like Tony Benn and.
Lesbians and
I'm gonna
gays
show
support
myself
the
up.
miners.
I'm gonna show myself up. Well, yeah, I mean that. Pride,
We watched that film together.
Yeah,
didn't
that
we?
is real though. That's
It's a good
history.
film,
you know? It was a perfect match. Okay,
But
so
yeah, it's a soft degree.
any
It's a
more
soft
on
degree.
class versus nationality?
No, it's a soft degree because I do think like it really does. It's a case by case basis, because there are probably some countries where it's less of a big deal, but then you've got places like India which have like, you know, like the caste system. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, we gave them that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. They got that.
That's a British thing.
Yeah,
They inherited from us.
Yeah, they got
actually.
they got that from us. Exactly.
Same with their criminalization of homosexuality.
Mm-hmm.
That was something that was never illegal
Also,
back in the day. But
also,
we when we colonized there, we gave it them,
yeah. Also,
and they've never gotten rid of it since.
people who follow Hinduism will also be aware of how fluid with gender Hinduism is.
Yeah, the Hijra, the third gender.
But then, obviously, we got our hands on them and we made them racist and not racist, homophobic and transphobic.
Well,
and
it's
shit,
like I said,
so.
the banning of homosexuality, they basically just kept it after we left, and they've
Yeah.
never gotten rid of it since, even though they probably should.
You know, that was our fault.
Because we've got rid of it.
See-
The UK is no longer illegal here to be gay.
No.
Whereas in India
Thank
it
God.
still is, or at least it's very very like taboo,
Yeah.
if not illegal. It's definitely something that families do like break up over.
There are also a lot of like cases of like corrective rape, which is pretty.
Very much.
Yeah, that's hot and heavy. Let's not go there. But yeah, harking back to some of the previous questions that were asked here, Britain, in many cases, is something to be proud of, but we are also at fault for a lot of shit that went wrong in the world. So
Definitely.
yeah.
I mean, they're granted there are things to be proud of about Britain, but at the same time, there's
Big up the NHS.
There's a lot of shit that we tend to gloss over because it just makes us look better if we don't look at it.
Yeah,
Like we a lot of people will see Winston Churchill as being this big
I was
hero.
just about to say Winston.
You can go off,
You
off,
know,
Queen.
we
Go off.
are literally on the same. We're like on the same wavelength here right now. I cannot fucking for the life of me get people who like stand Winston Churchill. Like, I get it, he was prime minister when we won the war, but one, he was like a drunk like most of the time, just sitting in a war room doing fuck all. He wasn't exactly fighting on the front lines.
It would have been Chamberlain, wouldn't it, doing most of the work?
And the soldiers themselves,
and what's his name, the other racist dude, Kissinger, that's him.
Henry Kissinger.
That's the one.
Yeah, also a dickhead. But no, see, Winston Churchill was an absolute... He was racist, he was anti-Semitic, he was a misogynistic dickhead. He called various other cultures barbaric and animalistic.
He also triggered a massive genocide.
He is the reason for the Bengali genocide, due to famine. He just... I don't get how people like idolize him so much just because...
Well, it's because like this.
It was situational. If somebody else had been prime minister at the time, they would have idolized that person instead.
It's like that's the thing though. They only get taught in school about the good stuff that he's known for.
Yeah.
They don't get taught about the Bengali genocide.
Yeah, that one thing I will say, as obviously people who have grown up in the British education system, it's not bad, but it is whitewashed up to fuck.
Yeah.
And they do not tell us enough about the bad things that we've done.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have a well-rounded educational...
I actually recently took part in a petition for having more accurate history taught in schools about white supremacy and all of our nationalism and colonialism bullshit, and it got rejected by Parliament.
It's so ingrained in the curriculum that we... that's why people get annoyed when you bring it up and you talk about, like, equality and diversity and racism.
Yeah.
Because they think you're being a woke skull, like Lefty, oh, you snowflake, SJW. And that's the thing, it's so ingrained that merely mentioning the fact that our country isn't perfect is a giant shock to some of these people. Yeah, people
just go
They get really defensive and they're like, how dare you impugn my country?
Yeah. No, they really do. They really
and it
do
tends to be these stands of Winston Churchill that get really fucked off if you tell them the truth about the fact that he wasn't that perfect. He had his dark spots.
You know, the people really
By today's standards, he was quite a shitty person.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, let's carry on.
We'll move on now because we've waffled about it too much.
Yeah, a little bit.
And I'm kind of getting into that thing again where I'm interrupting you and talking more than you, so I need to stop. Okay, so controlling inflation is more important than controlling unemployment.
Bollocks. No. I don't even want to...
That's a strong disagree.
Yeah, that's a strong disagree. I don't even want to have to elaborate on that. Like, why...
You don't have to. It'd be nice if you could. Though.
Like, why would they think it's more important to control the prices of goods and shit than, like, whether people work or not?
Yeah, I very much agree, Tess.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, humanity is doomed to repeat its mistakes if we're not taught about those mistakes. No, Tess is, he's on point there. But yeah, I mean, I don't get how they can care more about, like, the price of goods and shit like that.
And again, there's no work. If there's no focus to buy them, then what's the point?
Exactly. Yeah. Right. So yeah, no, strong disagree.
You're gonna have nobody with any money to stimulate the economy, and then you're gonna be pumping up the inflation.
Yeah, and there's still gonna be unemployed people.
There's more
like,
money
you know
that
what
nobody
I mean?
can spend.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, that's a strong.
The same
disagree.
point I made yesterday, really.
Yeah, that's a strong disagree.
So yeah, you're good. You're on board with that. Okay, so this one is about corporations. So get your head in gear.
Okay.
Because corporations cannot be trusted to voluntarily protect the environment, they require regulation.
Strong agree. You know me, like, being a biological scientist, I am a huge advocate for environmental...
If anything, like, they're really fucking destructive. It's almost like it's not really about the money with these corporations. Some of them are just fucking horrible and they want to destroy shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop out the statistic.
Usually because they're competing with other third world countries when it comes to, like...
I'm gonna pop out the statistic while I'm here. Only 100 companies are responsible for over 70% of global carbon emissions.
And they don't pay, like, the fucking 70% of the tax, do they?
Yeah, half of them don't even pay their corporate tax and things like that. Looking at you, Jeff Bezos, again, as usual. But actually...
Amazon, piss bottles.
Actually, some of the biggest culprits of that are the pharmaceutical, the agricultural, and also the vehicle industry, like cars. Those are three of the biggest culprits: car manufacturers, agriculture, and pharmaceutics.
So you strongly agree that?
Oh yeah, no,
they need to be watched over.
Yeah, they absolutely have to be regulated, because otherwise they end up dumping their bloody, like...
History proves that they need something done.
Yeah, they end up dumping their waste in a third world country and expecting them to deal with it. It's bollocks. Yeah. It's fucked up. No.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Yeah. Okay, so from each according to his ability.
From each according
to his ability, to each according to his need, is a fundamentally good idea.
I don't know much about it.
I was quite vague on
so
this one
I'm going to
the
do
other
a
day.
soft degree, only because it's something that I want to research a little bit more, to be honest. But yeah, that's about all I can
That's
say.
pretty vague, but yeah,
Yeah,
we'll leave
kinda.
that in the air. Okay, the freer the market, the freer the people.
Strongly disagree. It's bollocks. Like, we live in a so-called free market right now, and we're not fucking free at all.
Supposedly, yeah, laissez-faire capitalism, and it's got its pros and definitely its cons. The cons seem to be like a lot worse than the pros.
Yeah, they do not the pros do not outweigh the cons in any way, shape, or form.
You can have like a fucking blue coat or a green coat, but you're still gonna get fucked by the price of it.
Yeah.
And the people who actually made it are often fucking
slave
children
labor.
in India and fucking China. And...
You know, I that's a strong disagree.
But you've got choice. Hey, you can pick the colour. Like fucking.
Yeah, like you can pick what colour Nikes you want, but they were made by kids in like a bloody sweatshop. Like no.
So we get freedom of choice. We just can't choose where this stuff is made and by who.
Yeah, no,
because the corporations don't want that, because it's a lot cheaper to have this. You know, the cheaper the workforce.
The cheaper the labour, the more profit you can make.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's cheap and easy, and it makes everything else cheap and easy. And
no.
Yeah,
so yeah, that's a strong disagree for that one.
Okay, it is a sad reflection on our society that something as basic as drinking water is now a bottle branded consumer product.
Strongly agree. Fuck capitalism. Also, fuck that waste of plastic. That is such a waste of plastic. It really is. I'm not even going to have to go further with that.
Preaching to the converted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, land shouldn't be a commodity to be brought and sold.
I'm going to do a soft agree with that, because I think some people should have the right.
There you go, guys. This is where me and her differ, because I remember saying I disagreed. I think when I did the test.
I feel like some people should have the right to own their own land. However...
Well, this is vague, you see, so you can...
Yeah, however, I mean, if you're in the camp of housing as a human right, then you shouldn't have to own the land. But can you still own the land that you live in as a human right? That's where...
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it's purely making the point of can you buy and sell land.
I feel it's a soft agree with me. However, I will say I am against...
I don't think it's got... Yeah, I mean, this question is about nothing to do with owning the land and securing it and having it secure.
No, I do...
It's purely about buying and selling.
I do think there should be regulations and limits for it, though. Like, I don't agree with, like, people just buying up huge acres of land and, like, ploughing it over to build houses. You know what I mean? I don't agree with landlords, like, monopolising shit. I think there's a level. I think in terms of the land, you know, people can own, like, a little bit of it. But, yeah, so it's a soft degree depending on contextual situations.
Okay. It is regrettable that many personal fortunes are made by people who simply manipulate money and contribute nothing to their societies.
Strongly agreed. Like, again, harking back to Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk.
This would be that statistic again. You know, like the 1% of America has like 70% of the wealth of that country, or something like that. I can't remember the exact numbers, but it's something like that. But I mean, again, none of them really pay a lot of tax. They usually foot the bill to the
I believe I saw a statistic recently of even, like, the poorest people on this planet, all of their wealth combined doesn't equal, like, the richest 1%. Yeah. And there's, like, nearly 8 billion people.
I still find it incredible, though, that, I mean, I don't think that number's actually accurate, but, I mean, it's got to be something close to that. But I mean,
it'll be close
for a small number of people who own like 70% of the wealth of America, they don't pay 70% of the tax, though, do they?
No, not by any means.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, hang on, just read it again so that I know.
Okay. It is regrettable that many personal fortunes are made by people who simply manipulate money and contribute nothing to their society.
Yeah, no, that's a strong agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Protectionism is sometimes necessary in trade. This is a mechanism that bankers use to not lose money, basically.
Yeah.
It's how they game the system so they can fuck over everybody else and reap the profits.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a strong disagree, because, like...
At least I assume it is. Like, I actually... Should we look up protectionism quickly?
Do you want me to do it on my phone, or...?
No, because this thing's open now.
Okay.
Okay, so here's doing some research. This is what I deemed it to be before, but I'm just going to check that I'm correct. Definition.
No, you need protectionism. You've just put protection.
Sorry, yeah.
There you go. Why is your computer always in caps lock as well, by the way?
I don't know.
It's a really weird thing.
Do you want to talk to the people? Well, it's okay. I'll just... Till I've got this up.
Yeah. Hang on,
What do you think protectionism is? Do you have any idea?
I know that it's got...
I know
it's got something to do with, like, tariffs and sanctions and bullshit
Okay,
like that.
so protectionism, policy of protecting domestic industries against foreign competition by means of tariffs, subsidies, import quotas, or other restrictions or handicaps placed on the imports of foreign competitors. Yeah, it's basically bankers, like, gaming the system, you know?
Yeah,
or
no,
politicians.
I'm going to have to go with a strong...
It's economic competition that's gamified by a bunch of rich pricks.
Yeah, I'm going to have to give that a strong disagree. I don't think anybody should really have that kind of advantage.
Yeah, because it really is just kind of like it's somebody holding all the strings.
Yeah, like what's free about that?
All the shots. Yeah, it wouldn't be freedom. Okay, so you reckon that's a strong disagree?
Yeah, that's a strong disagree for sure.
Okay. The only social responsibility of a company should be to deliver to a profit to its shareholders.
Strong disagree. Like, what? How are you going to deliver a profit if you don't give a shit about your workers?
That's true.
Like, it just wouldn't be possible. Like, look at Amazon. Like, there are workers who are literally dying. It's like...
Amazon piss bottles.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Do the people have the context for that? Do the people have the context?
Go ahead.
Okay, the context is that Amazon workers were not being given long enough breaks to even go to the bathroom, so they were literally just like urinating in bottles where they were stood.
And then they
like,
were
working.
bollocked by the heads up at the office, like you can't just piss in bottles. And I'm like, you're fucking making us.
Yeah, it's
We've
like
got
they
no
literally
choice.
didn't have like time for breaks to even go to the bathroom or have a cigarette. It's fucked up.
Yeah, you will be strongly worded to the fucking admin team up top, and he's like, well, fuck you.
Honestly,
piss.
It's disgusting. But
Right.
yeah,
Give me my money, I'll take a piss, and then I'll go home. How about that?
Yeah.
Fucking multinational cunts.
all right, next one.
Sorry. Okay. This is a doozy. I know this one before I even asked you it. The rich are too highly taxed.
Strongly disagree. Like, they're not taxed enough. We've literally been speaking about this like throughout the course of answering other questions. Like, they are not taxed enough. Even if they were to pay their tax, I personally don't think it's too hard.
So
I don't think.
Strongly disagree then.
Yeah, strong disagree. Even if they were to actually pay their tax, I don't think it's actually high enough for some people. But the thing is, most of them don't even fucking pay it.
If they paid fucking 1% of the tax they were supposed to pay, then we'd see a massive increase in like the country's GDP and everything else associated with it.
Jeff Bezos paying his tax could end hunger in America. Like,
oh yeah, and he could end it and still have enough money to like live comfortably, more than comfortably for the rest of his life.
Just want to give a shout out to the Twitter account. Jeff Bezos didn't decide to end world hunger.
Yeah, that Twitter account.
They literally they tweet every
single day.
They tweet every single day saying Jeff Bezos didn't end world hunger today because he chose not to. They tweet it every single day.
It's an easy choice to make when you've got that kind of money, isn't it? Really, when you're Jeff Bezos.
That is a choice I'd make. Anyway.
By the way, I mean, some people would know in an old video I did ages ago on the channel that I had like an Alexa. I fucking like unplugged it.
Yeah, we
I
unplugged
don't want that
bitch.
shit in my home anymore. Well,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. God knows what made me like buy it, but
I think at the time we were still in a phase where we thought, oh yeah, cool technology, and like it's got like games and apps and stuff. And then we were like, yeah, no, it's like literally spying on us. And Amazon...
It's like the fucking eye of Sauron in your living room. You don't want that shit.
Yeah, no, agreed.
You don't want that.
Alright, next one.
Those with the ability to pay should have access to a higher standards of medical care.
I'm gonna differ with you on that. That is a strong fucking disagree in my eyes. Because...
Okay. That's ballsy.
Yeah, because
Not really. Why did I say that?
I don't know. Like, because healthcare is a human right. And
I agree with that.
if we actually funded it properly, then people wouldn't feel the need to fucking pay more to get better standards of care.
No, that makes sense. I actually think if I was to take the test again, I would probably change my position on that. I just think I overthought it a bit, and I was thinking about the current situation of the country, and I was thinking like it'd be cool to have a free option over here for people that are like the lowest of society, and then like rich cunt version for like the.
No.
Yeah.
Because.
But I mean, really, I mean, in an ideal world, that wouldn't exist.
Let me word it this way. The way that this question is worded, it implies that people who are poor don't deserve the same standard of care as people who can afford it.
Yeah, it does kind of tacitly make that claim, doesn't it?
Which is bollocks. Everybody deserves the same standard of
care. It's a bit of a dog whistle, really. Like, you're in a different class to us.
Tiny bit.
Yeah, money shouldn't dictate class, I don't think.
So that's a strong disagree for
Even
me.
though it does.
It's fundamental in dictating class.
Strongly disagree, then, okay.
Yeah, that's a strong disagree.
Governments should penalise businesses that mislead the public.
Strongly agree, absolutely. The government should penalise itself for misleading the fucking public. Jesus Christ. Like, look at the fucking shambles with Brexit. Like...
Indeed, yeah, they sold a lie to people. And, like, you know how, like, a lot of people only voted Brexit to deal with, like, the immigration problem that doesn't exist?
Yeah, do you know how many people voted Brexit
that
because
problem that hasn't gone. Like, we're
exactly.
still having many people in the country that don't happen to be white. I haven't got a problem with it, but they're still pissed off because they didn't get what they want, despite the fact that that's what they voted for.
Imagine complaining about people being refugees and coming to your country when your country is part of the reason they're refugees in the fucking first place.
Imagine not, like, thinking that, like, Indian people coming over from overseas aren't really incredibly hard-working people. Like, it's endemic to their culture.
Mm.
Anyone who knows anything about the Windrush generation knows this. They fucking saved our economy, and we shat on them every step of the way. We still do, even today.
There are people.
Priti Patel.
There are people who
fucked a lot of them over. Just you remember?
Yeah.
Tried to send a lot of them back, and it's like they've been here longer than Priti Patel has, for fuck's sake.
I just want to say this is completely my own view, but in my personal opinion, she is one person I would actually say is evil.
You know, under Priti Patel's policies, under Priti Patel policies with immigration, she would not. She would
be deported.
She wouldn't even pass her own fucking test.
Do you remember, like, you know, with Donald Trump, his, like, terms of immigration mean that, like, his in-laws, like his mother and father-in-law, would have been deported.
I feel like people deal with immigration in this country pretty much like a fucking like an IKEA paint swab thing. Like, you got white up the top, black down the bottom, and then just different shades of, like, brown and grey. And it's a really stupid opinion of seeing race.
Yeah, no.
Because, again, we've got, like, racist cunts spewing shit all over in the public about, like, oh, this isn't Britain anymore. It doesn't look like Britain, and I can't speak English in my country anymore. I feel threatened.
Even though you're literally speaking English.
Even though, there's people that came from overseas that have been working their asses off for decades that have been alive and working longer than most of these racist cunts. Like, they're more British than the racists are. If you want to use their definition of whether you belong or not, then those people belong a lot more than these.
The best thing to do with people like that is to ask them to define what it is to be British. Just ask them to define what it is to be British.
Ask a lot of these old-timey Windrush generation people. They will tell you they feel British. And we shit on them. And I don't, to be honest, I don't know why they're so proud of it being part of Britain, but they are, and I you know,
they get shat on. From them.
Yeah, they give us a lot more credit than we give them. Put it that way.
Oh yeah, for
sure. But anyway, we've waffled on again.
Mm-hmm. Just read the most recent one we did again, so I can double check.
Okay, governments should penalise businesses that mislead the public.
Yeah, that's a strong agree. That's still a strong agree.
All right. A genuine free market requires restrictions on the ability of predator multinationals to create monopolies.
Yeah, because, I mean, if one cunt's taking everything, that means there's no freedom for anyone else, so it's not even a free market.
So you would soft agree or strong agree?
No, I'm going to go with strong on that.
You're going to go, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty dedicated with that. Like, how is it a free market if one cunt's buying everything up?
That's true.
You know what I mean?
But, I mean, if that cunt's the one buying it all up, he's going to tell you it's free while it isn't. That's how politics works.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, no,
that's why people tell me I'm free, even though I'm fucking not.
Yeah,
that's why most of my friends are told that they're free and racism doesn't exist, but it fucking does.
Yeah.
Like, people tell you things and they want you to just believe them and swallow the bullshit because it makes it easier for them to, like, make money and prolificate their own ideal
prolificate
world.
That's a nice word.
Yeah. Okay, next page.
Yes, user.
This is page 3. We're about halfway through now. Okay. Let's take a look at some of your personal social values.
Ooh, social values.
Okay, so abortion, when the woman's life is not threatened, should always be illegal.
Strongly disagree. People have personal autonomy. I'm sorry, but you cannot put the life of an unborn child over the life of a living, breathing person who has memories, who has a life, who has connections with people. You can't do that. No, you just can't do it. I'm not even going to have to elaborate on that further.
Plus, a lot of people that would agree with this tend to be they fucking love guns and they're crazy about.
We were just talking before about you can't be pro gun and pro life.
Contradictory.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't really.
Guns literally take life away. Anyway.
That's all they're good for.
Yeah, but that's a strong disagree. Bodily autonomy for the living adult.
All the way. All authorities. All authority should be questioned.
Strongly agree, because I think that even if there's an authority who hasn't done anything wrong in your eyes, there's always a chance. You should always question it. You shouldn't just blindly follow people. This is how we get fascism.
Exactly. It's how it seeps in, You start agreeing with things you're like, oh, okay, and then you'll have to agree with something else. You're like, oh, I don't know about that. And then by the time the end of the day comes...
Yeah, you've swallowed the Kool-Aid, it's too late.
Yeah, you'll agree with anything. How many times have fucking poor people accepted austerity? The first time they were a bit pissed off, but they went, oh, okay then, I guess. Now we think it's completely fucking normal. I can't remember a time in my life where we didn't have austerity. It's most of my fucking adult life.
Same.
And that's because the Tories just oh, another 2 years, are you okay? And that's because we're just accepted to expect new levels of mediocrity with our politicians. And that's how this kind of all works, really. So if you don't question your authorities, they'll just take more and more away and hope that you don't notice.
I encourage people to always think freely. So yeah, definitely, that's a strong.
Okay, here's one we might be differing on: an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth.
I'm not going to do a hard agree on it because I really think
you do agree.
I do agree because I think it really does depend on the situation.
Go on.
I know it sounds fucked up, but there are some situations where I just feel like if someone fucks you over in a bad way, fuck them over too. It's, you know what I mean? I just think sometimes some people really do deserve it because they're not nice people. But it really does depend on the situation. It is all.
So this is one leftist that's not afraid to get their hands dirty.
No, yeah, basically, I don't get that. Oh no, you've got to forgive them. You've got to treat them with kindness. No. It's the same victim blaming bullshit where people are be kind to your abusers. Fuck no.
No, I'll admit I am quite a bit more pacifistic than you. I think there's nothing to be ashamed of, though. That's your personal opinion, and here we'll accept that.
Yeah.
That's how you feel. That's what we'll stand.
That's just how it is. It's a soft agree.
Okay. Taxpayers should not be expected to prop up any theatres or museums that can't survive on a commercial basis.
I don't agree with the arts and history being considered a commercial thing. I think they are important.
Do you think they are vital characteristics of any society?
Absolutely.
So you think they should be funded with taxpayers'
money?
Yeah,
absolutely. That's going to have to be a strong agree from me.
Strong agree.
I don't understand people who don't appreciate the arts. What would you do?
You're telling me I don't appreciate the arts?
No. I'm just people will shit on the arts oh, you went to university and you got an arts degree. What are you going to do with that? Oh, I don't know. They'll make the movies you watch, the music you listen to, the art you look at.
It's the beating heart of any society is normally its art and its culture. The things that it creates to celebrate itself.
Yeah, I think education and the arts are just as important as STEM. They're just important in different ways.
So they do different things, but it doesn't mean that.
Yeah, they absolutely should be funded completely. Yeah.
So you strongly agree?
Yeah, strongly agree with that.
Okay. Schools should not make classroom attendance compulsory.
It's controversial coming from me, considering I'm going into a career in teaching, but I absolutely agree with that. That is a strong agree. That is a strong agree.
Okay.
It is pure ableism to reward students.
See, this is a clarification I have to make from yesterday. I was doing last week. Sorry. I was doing my weird nervous twitch of just blurting random shit out for no good reason, and Dion came up with a terrific point during this question when I was taking the test about ableism, and I don't know, I just didn't hear it at the time. my autism kind of prevented me from picking that up. And now we're about to hear what that context is.
It's pure ableism. There are some students, for whether it be a physical disability or a mental disability, or even just students who are having trouble at home, like they're in the care system or they've got abusive parents. It is pure fucking ableism, and it's exclusionary bullshit to reward students for attending school. Like, I'm a grown-ass adult, and at uni, we pay for our degrees, and we are not expected to attend every class. It's important that we do in order to learn, but if we can't because we're ill or for whatever reason, or because we simply don't want to,
it's not fair to the people that are given the bad luck of having ill health, because ill health is usually tied to economic values and stuff.
I remember there was a time.
Makes sense.
There was a time when I was in primary school where I wasn't allowed to go on a school trip because I didn't have high enough attendance. It's bollocks. You're excluding children and making them feel bad because they're ill. Like, it's disgusting.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's pure ableism. No, I don't agree with that.
No, if I'd have heard that last week, I would have agreed with that statement.
It's pure ableism.
Probably would have it would have swayed my opinion on things, actually. Because you know why I didn't, what my opinion was on that. I didn't like the idea of people just keeping kids away from school for, like, religious reasons or bigoted rubbish. Okay. All people have their rights, but it's better for us all that different sorts of people should keep to their own kind.
Strongly disagree. Like, people should mix. People should learn other cultures, learn other languages. Like, you're talking to somebody who's learning, like, 7 languages at once because I want to be a more culturally, like, diverse person. Like, I love learning about other cultures. I love learning about, like, you know, music and traditions and everything, like food as well. Imagine thinking...
It is true what they say. Wisdom comes with the well-travelled.
Yeah, imagine people thinking that you should stick to your own kind, but then they go out and eat Indian food. That's not your food. Eat British food.
Hey, I love Indian food.
No, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, they'll say stick to your own kind,
we'll
but
find out later tonight. I love Italian food too.
Technically,
people don't know the definition of that.
Technically, pizza was invented by
Amazon stinky.
Technically,
Amazon fucking stinks.
Amazon stinky. Yeah, you're right, Tez. People don't know the definition of art. Yeah, see, Tez is somebody who, like, he loves. Yeah, he's getting into graphic design, game design, things like that.
Oh, and don't let anyone tell you that's not art.
No, it is absolutely
They'll tell you it's
an
like
art
a career or it's IT.
No, it is absolutely
it is
an art form.
It's just digital art. It's a different kind of art, but it's
like
still
I
art.
do like digital art. Like, I dabble in it, obviously, but it is absolutely an art form. But yeah.
Okay. Focus.
Yeah, focus.
We're talking about like mixing people.
You know, people absolutely should mix, because when people don't mix, you get fucking Aryan neo-Nazi fucking bullshit.
You do.
Like,
it's actually people have done surveys on this, and like in more like densely populated urban areas, people are a lot more open-minded than people in like rural areas that don't tend to mix with too many other people.
Yeah.
And they're always the more racist
That's because
ones.
people in isolation, they often don't get their views challenged.
Yeah.
So being out and meeting more people and meeting other people's views and opinions on things, it makes you a more well-rounded person. It helps you form your ideals better, rather than just sitting in your own home, not talking to anybody or mixing with anybody else, or being in an echo chamber of people with your own fucking opinions. You never learn anything new.
Indeed. Okay, another question. Good parents sometimes have to spank their children.
Strong disagree. Psychological studies for decades have shown that spanking your children does nothing but cause psychological harm. And it gets to the point where they see violence as an appropriate means of controlling people's behaviour. This is how you get, like, abusive spouses. Because they think that they can slap their partner around a bit and that'll fix the behaviour that they don't like. That's not how it works.
Negative reinforcement very rarely works.
It's actually positive punishment. You're gonna get me into the fucking definitions of operant conditioning. In operant conditioning, reinforcement is when you're given something nice. Punishment is when you are... Reinforcement is where something good happens. Punishment is where something bad happens. Positive is where you're given something. Negative is where something is taken away. So positive reinforcement is where you are given something to make your behavior better. Negative reinforcement is where you take away something that you didn't like. So, like, a rat is being electrocuted, but then once it does what they want, they take the electricity away. Positive punishment is where you give them something that is not nice, and negative punishment is where, you take away their favorite toy. Yeah, people get operant conditioning really, really fucked up. Like, I did a lot of psychology in college, so yeah. People always get the concepts of operant conditioning really fucked up, but yeah, it would actually be positive punishment, because they are giving something that's negative.
I think it's just a simple principle that it's just not, like, violence is not ever a good answer. Right.
It just strikes me as crazy that there are, like, some people out there, for example, who will think that hitting their kids is okay, but then, like, if they get in a bar fight, they think that's bad.
Well, this is why, because those kids that get hit by their adults, they'll say, "Oh, I turned out okay."
Yeah, but they
didn't, because they're hitting their kids.
Yeah, they seem to think that violence is an appropriate way of controlling behavior when it's not. But yeah, like, psychology studies have proved time and time again that spanking your children does not work. It either doesn't do anything or it makes it worse. So yeah, no, fuck that.
Okay, so it is natural for children to keep some secrets from their parents.
This is a tough one for me, because I feel like if a parent
like most of us, you held secrets from your parents.
I still have secrets from my parents, but the thing is, right?
Indeed, yeah.
The thing is, it's a complex situation, because children, this depends largely on the age of the child and how exposed they have been to outside forces, because if they in order to have something that they want to keep a secret, it's something that they have been shown to be a negative thing by somebody. So say, for example, a child is gay. If they weren't exposed to homophobia, they wouldn't feel the need to keep that a secret, because they wouldn't think it was a bad thing. So whilst I agree that children, they do keep secrets, I think that really they shouldn't, because they shouldn't be exposed to things that would make them feel the need to keep it a secret. So I'm going to do a soft disagree on that, because I think in some cases children are going to keep secrets just because of the way they are exposed. But I don't think they should. I think if they were brought up in an environment where nothing was considered, like, taboo and you could always talk about anything, then they wouldn't feel the need to keep it a secret.
It's kind of weird that we teach children to, like, fear the pursuit of knowledge. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, you would think as a kid that you'd be new to the world and you'd want to discover new things, and it just seems a bit kind of like they're setting you up to fail if they don't give you, like, the information that you are confused about, because most kids, when I was growing up, if they weren't told anything by their parents about a given subject, they would go off and, like, find it for themselves, and they wouldn't always be learning about it in the safest way.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, no, it's a soft disagree, because it does happen, but I don't think it should. So.
Okay. Possessing marijuana for personal use should not be a criminal offence.
Strongly agree. I mean, I know where many people stand on this, but when you just look at the actual facts, the fact that alcohol and cigarettes, if they were, like, a new drug that was invented today, they would be Class A drugs.
Illegalized.
Yeah.
Full stop.
They would be Class A, completely illegal drugs, because they are so bad. Like, alcoholism, not only do you have all the physical issues that come with it, but you've also got the psychological issues, the monetary issues. They would be a Class A drug.
Yeah.
But things like marijuana aren't.
My answer is, like, legalize it, regulate it, tax it. And then weed is not only not a problem anymore, but it's making you fucking money.
I'm going to actually go one step further with this. Okay. I personally think that this is a hot take, and
with the amount of people on weed in this country, we could fund the NHS solely on weed. Like, it'd be incredible.
This is a bit of a hot take, so, like, I might get, like, cancelled for this, but personally, I think weed in general should be completely legalized. I think we should heavily regulate more cigarettes and alcohol, and I say that as somebody who drinks and smokes. Well, I don't drink much these days, but I do smoke.
I disagree with that. I'm libertarian, so obviously.
But I also agree that possession
libertarian socialist.
I don't agree that other more dangerous drugs should be legalized, because they are dangerous, but I do think possessing them should be decriminalized.
No, I believe in freedom of choice. If you want to drink yourself to death, you have the right to. If you want to smoke yourself to death, you have the right to.
Yeah,
I believe in freedom of choice.
Yeah. I personally, like I said, I don't think we should start legalizing things like cocaine or heroin, but I do think possession of these things should be decriminalized, and there should be more of an emphasis on getting people help with their drug habits rather than just putting them in jail for having those drugs on their person.
Yeah, because again, that just rehabilitation is a lot cheaper than incarceration when it comes to tax that it takes to keep that going on.
Yeah, I think rather than throwing somebody who was in possession of cocaine in jail, like, for personal use, I'm not talking about drug dealers. If you catch someone with enough, like, cocaine on them to, like, be drug dealing, that is a criminal offence, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But in terms of for personal use, there should be more emphasis on helping people get off drugs rather than criminalising them for owning those drugs. So, yeah, that's my bit of a spicy take there.
Okay. The prime function of schooling should be to equip the future generation to find jobs.
That's going to be a strong disagree for me because, again, it's ableist. It's pure ableism. Some people physically can't work. It is pure fucking ableism. I think it's important to, you know...
There's a certain percentage of the population that will have to do that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it shouldn't be a blanket rule for everybody.
But no, it is pure ableism to teach people that the only thing that's important in life, it's also like capitalist bullshit, that the only thing that's important is like you get you grow up, you get a job, and you earn money. Like,
well, it's like school of the worker bees.
Yeah, it's capitalist bullshit, and it's also, like I said, it's incredibly ableist because some people literally just can't work. Yeah. So yeah, no, that's a strong...
although it is a very small percentage of the population.
Yeah, but like that doesn't mean that we can just completely ignore that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, it's a strong disagree for that. I think there are many other things that school should focus on.
No, the reason why I mentioned that it's a small number of the population is it's in support of that because people often worry and they go, yeah, but that means like half of the kids in that school are just going to decide to bunk off and not ever get jobs. And it's like, no, because it's always a very small number. And so, if anything, it's not really going to affect the figures. No. It's not going to affect the unemployment rate much.
I think it should be an important part of schooling, like, obviously for preparing kids for reality, you know, like...
Yeah, you got to teach them that working is kind of the reality of the economic system.
Yeah, but I don't think it should be the prime function of schooling. Absolutely not. No. There are far more important things. So, yeah, that's a...
Strongly disagree, then.
Yeah, that's a strong disagree.
People with serious inheritable disabilities should not be allowed to reproduce.
That's a strong disagree, again, because
eugenics.
It's pure eugenics, and again, in terms of like bodily autonomy, people, if it were me, like, obviously I have quite a lot of inheritable disorders, especially, you know, like mental health ones, like fucking spine problems, glaucoma, like, you know, like we have chosen not to have biological children, but that is our choice.
Well, I don't really care about your mental illness. Your mental illnesses are not the reason I've decided not to have kids. Like, I wouldn't care. Like,
no, I know.
Like, you know, like I'm autistic and I get by just fine. So I think if I was to have a child and they were autistic, it wouldn't really bother me.
For me personally, depending, like, contextually, it would depend on the inheritable disorder, but just because that would be my personal view on it doesn't mean other people can't. Like, I don't control who does or doesn't have babies. That's none of my business.
Vague to the point where it's like you are the god of, like, you choose who does this and does that.
Absolutely not. If people,
it's out of my hands.
If people want to have children, they can have children. Like,
especially if you're like pro-abortion, you'd be like, you can just have an abortion for any reason though. Like,
yeah. So
if some mothers decide that they don't want to give birth to their child because it has a risk of being a little bit sort of you know, mentally ill,
potentially having a severe disability,
having a very tough life, basically, just being sort of, you know, dealt a bad card, then they've got the right to do that. They've got the right to make that choice.
Yeah, because again, that's the bodily autonomy.
But then there's also mothers out there that will, like, take that risk because they'll be like, I don't care, it's my little Jimmy. I don't care if he's a bit autistic or he's missing an arm. He'll make up for it because he's going to be a wonderful boy or a girl or whatever, you know.
But yeah, no, that again, that's just pure bodily autonomy. If people, regardless of one's medical situation, like,
Stephen Hawking is a good example.
Yeah, I really don't think.
Can you imagine a world where, like, somebody would have aborted, like Stephen Hawking?
The world just wouldn't be the same, honestly.
And imagine if somebody was making that choice, just because Stephen Hawking was getting ill, somebody was like, "Well, we've got to take you out the back and shoot you."
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, no, this
Yeah,
is
just be
like
a
this
full
isn't.
world.
Yeah, like this isn't fucking Old Yeller. You know, we can't just like.
Yeah.
You know.
It's up to the individuals to make those choices.
Yeah.
I think, and in terms of like fetuses versus their mother, it falls to the mother's decision on what they want to do with that.
We're gonna say parent here because like there are non-binary folks and trans men who can get pregnant.
Yeah, whoever the party is who is birthing that child, it's their decision.
The pregnant person.
So I've got to wait for your notification to fuck off out of the way so I can read it.
You can just swipe it out.
Go away. Okay, so moving on.
Yeah.
The most important thing for children to learn is to accept discipline.
Strong disagree. Like, understanding discipline is important.
Rebellion is healthy.
Yeah, understanding discipline is important, but at the same time, like, it goes back to the questioning authority. Like, sometimes it's rebel.
Mix. Any good parent will know that like a good mix of discipline and also rebellion is good.
We got to remember, this isn't just talking about that. This is talking about saying that discipline is like the most important thing of all things that children should learn, and that's bollocks.
Well, it's just teaching kids. It's setting them up to fail. It's just obey this, obey that. You know.
This is how you get people who end up in the military.
Pretty much.
Yeah, my views on the military are a bit. Anyway, next question. I don't think we need to elaborate on that much more.
The only good bug is a dead bug. Sorry, Starship Troopers. There are no savage and civilized peoples. There are only different cultures.
Strong agree. I don't necessarily like using the terms like, you know, I don't even like
savages.
Like, yeah, I don't even like using the terms
the fuck
like
are you
like,
calling them savage?
Yeah, like I don't even like using the terms like first and third world countries. Like it makes me feel icky.
Yeah, you couldn't put like fucking pineapple on your pizza. Calling me a savage? What the fuck? Mind you, I am a savage. And I'm proud of being so. She
truly is. Like you should see what she eats. Savage. Honestly.
Savage in all ways.
Can confirm.
But again, I think savage. It's just like most like slurs that have been put on minority figures.
Yeah.
People. You have your choice to resent that word and just kind of go, no, that's not what I am. I'll be whatever the fuck I want to be, and I be that. Okay, society?
Yeah.
Or you could be the type who takes that word, you know, the N word, the F word. I'm not going to say them, but you know exactly what I'm on about.
Queer as well.
And you weaponise those words.
I'm actually going to say that.
Against the people throwing them at you. You basically go, yep, I am queer.
Yeah, you and I F slur each other a lot.
Yeah, it feels good, though, to know that we're the ones using that word.
Yeah.
And when other people throw that term at us, it just kind of goes straight through us because
it doesn't do
you've just called me the same thing that my partner calls me. That's I'm completely heartbroken.
My response
I'm gonna sink through the floor.
I love it when people come at me with the F slur. I'm like, congratulations, your eyes work. Like, did you go to Specsavers?
Oh, wow, I've got dyed blue hair. You didn't. Wow, that you fucking Sherlock here. He thinks that I'm queer. Great.
Yeah, it's like it's not like it says it in my bio on every social media or anything. Like, congratulations.
You don't exactly have to be like a fucking KGB agent.
Yeah,
to get it.
Like, did you think you did something? No,
it's not that deep.
No, you didn't.
Okay, so you strongly agree with that statement then?
Just read it for me again.
There are no savage and civilized peoples. There are only different cultures.
Yeah, strongly agree. It's always like white people who are calling like minority groups savage.
So basically, I mean, what I'm saying is, if some West Indian African person, West Indian, sorry, wants to call themselves a savage, they can, you know, all the more merry to them. But yeah, I mean, I don't think you would just call them savages as a blanket pejorative term.
No, absolutely not. It's
up to them
to be honest. It's riddled in racism. Like it drips racism.
It just assumes that they've got no control over themselves and they're nothing but animals.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, that's something that sadly has gotten into a lot of our textbooks over the years.
Ugh.
Okay, those who are able to work and refuse the opportunity should not expect society's support. So basically, if you're not willing to work, but you can, then fuck you, no social safety net.
Are we getting into the areas of fully automated luxury gay space communism? Because like, I mean, I don't think
you're giving away the source. My apologies.
I think in a perfect world, people wouldn't have to work, but unfortunately, it's a reality.
So you agree with that?
I'm gonna go with a soft degree because I think in a perfect world, people wouldn't have to work. We just we'd have our needs met.
Because this is not like an ableist thing. This is not saying like if you can't physically work, then fuck you.
Yeah,
die.
this is about people.
They are
who
saying
choose not
like
to.
if you are able to work but refuse to. So
again, it's a really grey area because I think people should have the right to choose not to work. But then
conscientious subjector.
Yeah, there will be.
But then the question is, would you then pick up the tax bill for them in your society?
Would I personally?
Well, you'd have to. The tax would be divided amongst all the people living in that village, and you would all collectively pay for that person.
Yeah,
that's how taxes work.
I would, because again, that's just free will. So yeah, it's a soft degree.
Okay, because that's kind of what happens with people we know. That's how that works.
Yeah,
we pay for them, they pay for us, and it's all
Yeah, no,
It tends to be how it works.
I mean, again, maybe a middle ground would be like a reduced rate.
Okay, so it's definitely an agree then.
It's a soft degree.
Soft degree.
It's like contextually, it's weird because, like I said, in an ideal.
You hate freeloaders.
Yeah,
it's official.
No, shut up. Because like in an ideal world, people just wouldn't have to work. Like we just have our needs.
If we had like automation, like and people weren't like bogged down about their jobs and their class anymore, then
fully automated luxury gay space communism.
Indeed. Okay. So when you are troubled, it's better not to think about it, but to keep busy with more cheerful things.
Strongly disagree, and I say this as somebody who literally
very unhealthy thing to do.
That's a strong disagree, and I'm saying this as somebody who does that all the time. When I'm feeling shit, I will distract myself with work, and it's so unhealthy. So unhealthy. This is why uni has literally.
This is where like the whole concept of like toxic masculinity comes from.
Yeah, this is why. This is also.
They'll never focus on their issues. They'll just brush them under the carpet.
For me personally, uni has like crushed my mental health, and in order to like cope with that, I've just been doing more work.
Crushed your
my mental health.
How?
Oh, I don't know. Pressure, stress, workload, lack of support, funding.
I don't think there's any way that I can't do that. I think my general presence kind of does that to you, really. Like,
I said uni.
Oh, uni. I thought you said me.
No, you bloody
right. Sorry, guys.
You nearly made me arsely. Not on stream. No. On stream. No. Sorry. I am disabled, though. I do want to put that out there.
She's extremely hateful. I'm sorry.
They. Also, yeah,
I fucking played myself then.
You did. Also, I am actually like a disabled person, so I am someone who considers.
No, I have to do my obligatory. Like, I love non-binary people. You're all valid.
She really does. Anyway, I am somebody who is disabled and considers myself to have like reclaimed the arseler, but I know some people haven't, so I won't say that to you. But yeah, no, university, yes, not uni. Yes. University has like crippled and crushed my mental health, and the way that I've coped with that is doing the huge amount of workload that the uni has given me.
Quickly tell me what time it is. I don't use 24-hour clock very much.
Yeah, it's 9:24.
Is Pizza Hut closed?
No, they close at 10. I should probably order that soon then.
Yeah, we're gonna finish soon.
Yeah. We'll fly through these next ones.
Okay.
Actually, is it best that we take a break and I order it now and you just entertain the people for a couple minutes? Because it's gonna take an hour to get here.
All right.
Okay, right. We're taking a break. Because we just realised that the place we want to order food from closes.
That does mean that as soon as we've ordered the pizza, we're probably going to be ending the stream within half an hour.
Yeah, we're going to be real quick.
It's something we've planned all like weekend.
Yeah, so we need to have pizza. Yeah, and just entertain the people. The two people. One of whom is Tim.
Hello. One adult-sized human here.
Adult-sized because
I assume you're all human too.
Probably. Questionable with Thierry. He's like kind of an alien at times.
Oh, don't forget the cheese triangles.
I'm doing it.
See, that's the thing. When you've got loads of people in chat commenting, you can find ways of like getting them in conversation, but like it's just your brother, and I don't. There hasn't really been any new messages since. We are about 2 hours and 7 minutes in now, so this. Ironically, we said we didn't want another 3-hour stream, and we're heading there.
True. We're always like that, though.
That means we've got to fly through these questions.
Yeah, we will.
Because I don't want to be like sitting here with hot pizza while I'm like finishing a stream up. It's a good job I reminded you.
Yeah, that would have gone awful.
Finish the stream and it's like, oh, it's closed.
Yeah,
Fuck all you can do
we
now.
would have had to order from elsewhere.
Do any of you like Pizza Hut?
I think most people like pizza. Although I do know some people who don't like pizza, which, I mean...
Yeah, some people are into Domino's. I know you're not a big fan of them, but...
Yeah, Domino's is... Yeah, Domino's
some people like, what's it called? Papa John's. I think Papa John,
Aren't they homophobic as shit?
Yeah, they are. I think in America, at least. I don't know, around here, but...
Chicken, bacon, mushrooms, pepperoni.
I don't know.
Chicken, bacon, mushrooms, pepperoni.
Sorry.
Chicken, bacon, mushrooms, pepperoni.
Yeah, that's correct.
Terry likes pizza.
Hey.
Imagine my shock that Thierry likes pizza. It's like one of the only things he ever eats from takeaways.
Yeah.
Like, you have the option of
Pizza, it's better than McDonald's and Domino's. He would say that.
Damn right,
say
Thierry.
that.
Damn right.
Yeah, you're family, man. Seriously.
Thierry's based.
No, I actually I don't have much experience with Domino's.
Yeah, it's not great.
To be honest, pizza I love now because
You're welcome.
they've just got a way of making it.
They really do.
Stuffed crust, fucking cheese coming out of
Oh, it's so good. It's honestly the best.
I'm so fucking hungry.
Yeah, talking about it is starting to make me really hungry. Like, I don't think I had some like chocolate this morning,
Seriously.
and that's it.
I mean, if we finish these questions and we get your results up and like that's done, and we have to like sit around 10 minutes talking about like we'll be back soon, guys. We love you. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna cut you all off. If you love me, you'll understand why. I suppose, like, I mean, do you guys have a plan yet, you and Tess, about when you're going to do the Pokemon thing?
No, I need to talk to him about it.
Because at some point in the future, I want to do, like, a big Power Rangers, like, stream. Like, a bunch of tier lists and, like, rankings and stuff, and a couple of theories and stuff, I need a piss.
Go for a piss.
I'll hold it in.
It's paying. It's paying.
Are
It's
we done?
paying.
We're done. We're done.
It's
We're done.
paying. It's
Done.
paying. It's paying.
Like, we can't cut this out, so
No.
it's just gonna have to stay in the stream forever.
Oh well. Y'all,
Okay.
hearing what it's like to be a couple, like just
Right.
ordering
It's
food.
just go away.
All right, we gotta fly through these. Lightning round.
So
Lightning
when
round.
you're troubled, it's better not to think about it. Just to keep busy with more cheerful things. You disagree
Strongly
with that?
disagree. It's so unhealthy.
First generation immigrants can never be fully integrated within their new country.
Strongly disagree. Bollocks. Whether someone is integrated or not is subjective as fuck.
Preach. Okay. What's good for the most successful corporations is always ultimately good for all of us.
Strongly disagree.
Obviously.
Corporations are notoriously
These last ones are really easy.
yeah, they're notoriously evil and don't care about people.
No broadcasting institution, however independent its content, should receive public funding.
Soft disagree, because it really does depend contextually. I think there are some places, especially if they peddle misinformation, they should not get public funding. But if they're peddling something that is factually correct, yes, they should get public funding because knowledge is power.
Our civil liberties are being excessively curbed in the name of counter-terrorism.
Soft agree, because I do still think counter-terrorism in some cases is necessary.
What Snowden did was right.
Yes. Okay.
And, what's her name?
We're out of time limit here.
Sorry.
Never mind.
Yeah, fucking,
Chelsea Manning?
Chelsea Manning.
Chelsea Manning!
Chelsea fucking Manning.
We stand Chelsea Manning.
Yeah,
by the way.
hero.
Absolutely.
Based. Okay. A significant advantage of a one-party state is that it avoids all the arguments that delay progress in a democratic political system.
Strong disagree. One-party states are bullshit. Tankies can suck my dick.
Oh, nice. I like it. Yeah, you're good when you're quick. Although the electronic age makes official surveillance easier, only wrongdoers need to be worried.
Strongly disagree because, like, again, like, especially there are black people who don't actually do anything wrong, but they're still killed by police because of racism. It doesn't matter whether you're doing something wrong or not.
You know.
Yeah, it's
Woke.
It's bollocks.
The death penalty should be an option for the most serious crimes.
Soft agree, because I really do think that if you are a murderer and you take somebody else's life away, that you forfeit your right to life. That's just one thing I really do believe.
Okay, death penalty for the win. Okay. In a civilized society, one must always have people... Oh, fuck's sake, your thing ruined it. In a civilized society, one must always have people above to be obeyed and people below to be commanded.
Strongly disagree. It should be the other way around, to be honest.
Indeed. Abstract art that doesn't represent anything shouldn't be considered art at all.
Strongly disagree. Art is art. Yeah, like poetry is art. Music is art. Different types of illustration is art. It's all art.
In criminal justice, punishment should be more important than rehabilitation.
Soft disagree, because I do agree. Obviously, like, being somebody who agrees with the death penalty for people like murderers, it would be hypocritical of me to say strongly disagree. But I do think, generally, except for, like, the most heinous of crimes, we should really focus on rehabilitating rather than just sticking them in jail.
Okay. It is a waste of time to try to rehabilitate some criminals.
Soft agree, because again, like, I can't be a hypocrite, because I do agree with, like, the most serious of crimes. I think if somebody's a murderer, like, deliberate, like, premeditated, went out to kill somebody, nothing's going to change that. So yeah, okay. It's soft agree.
The business person and the manufacturer are more important than the writer and the artist.
Strongly disagree. They are equally important. Again, like, what people talk about how much they love reading, but then they'll shit on writers. Like, people will be like, "Oh, I saw the Mona Lisa in the Louvre," and then say that art is bullshit. No. They are equal.
It seems a bit performative when people come out with that.
Yeah, they're equal.
Okay. Mothers may have careers, but their first duty is to be homemakers.
Strongly disagree. Like, I don't.
It's the woman's choice.
All parties can be involved in parenting. If you both want to be home, great. If just one of you wants to be home, fine. If you both want to work and get a nanny, fine. You do you.
Glory to the homemakers. And the workers. That meme. Basically.
I will say, though, I am one of those people who believes that being a parent is a full-time job that you don't get paid for. So anybody who says, "Oh, you have it easy, you're a homemaker," no. Anyway.
Feel called out. Multinational companies are unethically exploiting the plant-generated resources of developing countries.
Strongly agree. Absolutely, especially the pharmaceutics industry.
Fuck them. Making peace with the establishment is an important aspect of maturity.
I'm going to soft agree, because I think there are some parts of it that are reality that we should accept, but I'm not going to hard agree, because there are some things that we should not accept and that we should fight against.
That's pretty basic. Okay, if you got through that, okay, you'll find these propositions on religion a breeze. Astrology accurately explains many things.
I'm going to strongly disagree, but I do agree with people's freedom to study it and follow it, obviously.
That's based. You cannot be moral without being religious.
Strongly disagree. Religion does not define morals, and if it did, that would mean murder and rape and slavery is okay when it's not.
Love it. Not rape and slavery. Sorry.
She loves my opinion, Shane.
Yeah, whatever. Charity is better than social security as a means of helping the genuinely disadvantaged.
I'm gonna strongly disagree. Like, why should it be the responsibility of charities to help the disadvantaged when they should actually just be helped by the people who are meant to care about them?
Mm-hmm. Some people are naturally unlucky.
I'm gonna strongly disagree because it's vague as fuck. But I mean, if we're talking about like people who are born with certain characteristics that make them more unlucky, such as their race or their sexuality, then that would technically count. But that's only because of bigotry in society. That's not because the person's actually unlucky.
Yeah. It is important that my child's school instills religious values.
I'm gonna go with a soft degree because it depends. It's freedom. I know that sounds weird, but if someone wants to send their kid to a Catholic school, they have the freedom to do that. You know what I mean?
Okay, I like it. It's the difference been on what I would have done. I would have strongly disagree because I don't like religion being forced on
No,
people.
I don't think people should be indoctrinated, but like...
When it comes to individuals, I've got no problem.
Yeah, but, I'm thinking of it from an individual point of view here. So.
Okay, that's nice. Okay, so finally a look at sex.
Nice.
Sex outside of marriage is usually immoral.
Strongly disagree. Sex is a biological reality. Like, people will, like, if they want to have sex, they will have sex.
By the way, we're on the last page, so we're nearly done with this.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay. A same-sex couple in a stable, loving relationship should not be excluded from the possibility of child adoption.
Strongly agree. A same-sex couple should just be allowed to adopt anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And in many cases, if they want to go through surrogacy or things like that, or they're a trans couple who are able to have biological children, that is their fucking right.
Yes, Queen.
End of story.
Pornography depicting consenting adults should be legal for the adult population.
Strongly agree. Like, there's if it's completely consenting.
Pro sex work.
Yeah. Like we don't exclude sex workers here. Like, it, you know, if people want to consume pornography and the people in the pornography are consenting adults who were paid for their work, that's just a job.
I tend to watch a lot of it on fucking like free websites, but yeah.
But, you know,
Sorry.
That's their job. That's their career. And if people want to consume that, that's fine.
Okay, what goes on in a private bedroom between two consenting adults is no business of the state. Oh, sorry, it doesn't say two, it says consenting adults, so it could be like an orgy.
Well, yeah, it's absolutely...
But is it the matter of the state?
No, absolutely not. Like, why does the state need to know whether people are, like, having, like, gay sex or not?
So you strongly agree with that
statement?
statement?
Yeah, strongly agree.
It's nothing to do with the state?
No, it's none of their business.
No one can feel naturally homosexual.
Strongly disagree. Homosexuality has been shown numerous times in nature, not just in human beings. So, yeah. People can be naturally homosexual, as are other animals. It is an important part of evolutionary biology.
I think I might have got that one terribly wrong then, because I remember saying I agree with that. And again, I think you corrected me and said that supports the strongly disagree side of things.
Yeah, I think you got...
Because I said it's very much the case that people do naturally feel gay.
I think you just got confused with the way the question was worded, and then I explained it better, and it's
fine. These days, openness about sex has gone way too far.
I'm going to soft agree, because I don't think it should go too far, like, but it's not already too far.
Right.
It can go a bit further, because I feel like, you know, especially in school, like, for children who are of age, you know, teenagers, sex ed is still seen as this, like, really icky thing. But I think it's important to make sure that students actually are aware of these things.
Right. We can probably relax a bit more now, because we're right at the end. We'll see the results, and I think we've still got probably another 20 minutes before pizza arrives. So you landed.
Scroll down.
Yeah.
What did you do?
You do it.
Okay. I'm more left than you are. I'm less of a libertarian than you are.
I guess I'm more libertarian. Yeah, that's
fine.
That's fine.
Let me screenshot it.
You know, it's not a competition, right? Like,
no, I just didn't expect it. I thought we'd be fairly even.
I fully expected it.
Oh, fair enough.
I expected you to be a bit more left wing than me. But yeah, send it me on Facebook, and I can change it over on the screen. And then you can just chat calmly with the folk.
Hang on, I gotta crop it.
And then we can get
the
fuck out of here.
For the love of God, crop your screenshots, people.
Piers Morgan's controversial breakfast. What the fuck?
What's he done now?
I don't know. I don't care. That's something we haven't talked about. Piers Morgan's little fit.
Piers Morgan being a massive man baby.
Because he's worried about like them taking away his toys, quite literally. Oh.
That'll be me sending it you.
Okay. Do you still want to do that thing where you put mine next to yours?
I want to do it.
You'll know which is which, won't you? So you'll be able to tell them.
Yeah, like you're way more libertarian than I am, so yeah. We'll be able to tell.
Right.
Hang on, sorry. Yeah, I was in the process of typing a message to my friend, and she sent me a painting she's done, and she wanted my opinion on it. It's like honestly, it just screams like naturalness. It's brilliant. I'm not going to describe it because it is a not safe for work painting, but it's beautiful. So shout out to my friend Chloe for doing this lovely piece. But yeah, I mean, whilst I'm here, I guess I could talk about Piers Morgan being a giant man baby. Long story short, the reason he's a giant man baby is because
Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah. He I could give numerous examples. There was a time he ate a vegan roll and literally went "Bleh," and spat it out on TV like a child. There was a time he met the guy who jokingly calls himself broccoli gender as a way of like promoting like being transgender, and Piers got like way irate about gender.
I haven't actually tested if I can have 2 images on this at once.
Oh, okay.
So I'm kind of boomering it. Sorry, carry on with your Piers Morgan.
But yeah, he essentially apparently left Good Morning Britain of his own accord. He didn't. He was whole ass fired. Like, let's be fair. Like, he stormed out. He made racist remarks. He made misogynistic and sexist remarks. He made very predatory remarks to, like, a member of staff once, where he was like, "Oh, I can tell it's nearly summer because so and so's got her legs out." I'm like, no, that's gross. That's rapey as shit. Like, no, thank you. But
no
yeah,
bueno.
Yeah, no bueno. But yeah, basically, a lot of his stuff came from the fact that he went on a date with Meghan Markle once, and she.
Oh, I can do it. Oh, yeah.
She basically chose Prince Harry over him, and so this whole like Piers versus Meghan Markle is just one big like incel rant about how she chose a Chad over him.
Yeah. And this guy is a fully grown adult, let me remind you.
Yeah, he's a grown-ass adult. Like.
Okay, so Dion here is on the which side would that be? On the.
I'm on the left. It's the same.
So
it's
Dion's
the
on
same
the left side. I'm on the right side. As you can see, we differ a bit. We're in the same sort of area vaguely, but as you can see, there's Dion's a lot more into the sort of authoritarian area of the left, and further along in the left.
I'm not more. It's slightly more authoritarian.
Well, look, it literally is.
Yeah,
by
but
2 quadrants.
I know, but the way you said it,
I don't. Yeah, but you get defensive. Just gives it away. You stop it. You're showing yourself. You are, by definition, a bit more authoritarian left than me.
I know, but the way you worded
a fact.
The way you worded it.
By wording it as the definition.
No, I said
really.
The way you worded it, you made it sound like I would be in the upper quadrant when I'm not. Like, no.
Well, you are. These little square things are called quadrants. You are.
This is the quadrant.
Is it? I thought it was the little ones. Whatever.
No.
You're a bit more up there than.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not going to.
And I'm lower. But you are more to the left in terms of the actual left spectrum than me. So.
Yeah, let's be honest. The reason I got put in the authoritarian was because of my like crime and punishment stuff. Like, that's why.
Again, there's no point feeling guilty about it.
No, I stand by. No, I stand by it.
You have to stand by what you've picked.
Yeah, no, I stand by it wholeheartedly.
So now I guess we're wrapping up because that's all done. Anything you want to end the stream with? We can relax a bit. I mean, Peter's not going to be here for a while, so.
Actually, I will just check the status of that. Give me a sec.
I'll just leave these on until the end of the stream so people can. The fuck was that?
It's my stomach growling because I'm hungry.
It won't be long now.
Apparently, the order is being packaged. So yeah, it won't be long. But yeah, I mean, I guess I'm not that surprised that I was a bit more left than you, but I am surprised that it was as much as it was. I thought it would only be like a smidge.
Nothing to be ashamed of.
No, I know it's not. I just thought it would only be a smidge, to be honest, because normally you and I, we don't disagree on many things. So.
Well, it's these tests. These tests are not like the be-all and end-all.
Oh, no, I know,
I mean,
the IQ
everyone bangs on about
politics.
these tests being super accurate and, like, always, like, a telltale thing, but it's not really. I mean... It's just a test. It's the same with those, you know, those tests that give you those acronyms of like I am, you know.
Yeah.
Business companies use them as well, and I'm an FTCB person.
Yeah.
With this kind of personality.
What do they call them? Attribute tests.
I think it's the Riggs test or something.
Yeah.
Briggs.
Something.
Myers-Briggs, something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, that's all bullshit too. Same with IQ. IQ is bullshit.
Yeah,
mostly.
IQ tests are basically a way of measuring how good you are at IQ tests. Like, I have a Mensa IQ of 168, which is above genius level.
Which makes you sound like a genius. But
no, I believe anything above 150 in Mensa is genius level.
We know that you're not actually a genius.
Yeah,
Sorry to burst your
I'm
bubble.
I'm low-key a dumbass, but I do have a genius level Mensa IQ, so I'm just really good at taking IQ tests. So.
Can confirm.
Yeah, I'm like I'm Schrodinger's idiot. I'm simultaneously like a genius in many aspects, but also a dumbass. Like, it's really complex.
Right, well, we are now 2 hours and a half.
2.5 hours.
So...
Where are you going?
I need a piss.
Oh, she's leaving, folks. She's out. Yumi has left the building. I guess it's my job to sit here and keep y'all entertained while she's disappeared because she's rude. Hang on. What did Tez put? Yes. Here. Oh, okay. No, what? I'm just honestly just trying to think of something that I can bitch about for like 2 minutes while she's gone. Do you know what do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna bitch about the fact that you have gone for 2 minutes. I think it's really rude that you would leave the stream to take a piss right at the end of the stream. I think that's just like leaving it all to me. I think it's inconsiderate. Should have held your bladder. Also, Loki, this piss is taking you a really long time. Hurry up. There you go. That's the sound. The lovely sound we hear of the toilet flushing. Welcome back. We have to say bye to the people.
Do we?
Well, yeah, I mean, we're gonna go because we've got pizza coming and we need to set up the film and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, Terry's going on like a fucking tear right now.
I'm listening to it in the background, bro. Did you hear the toilet flush, Taz? Just out of curiosity.
Wonderful.
I'm just curious to see if you did actually hear
Bruh.
it. Bruh. This is how he and I talk. Like, I'll message him saying bruh and he'll put bruh.
Well, I finished it last time, so you might as well do the wrap up. To be honest, we've got no plans for the next stream. We're just gonna go away and then we're gonna just come up with a plan. Okay? You guys alright with that?
Yeah. It's kind of because there's a lot of things we've got. Like, there's a lot of ideas we've got floating around in our head and things. So we need to come to a decision. So
when you want the stream to stop, you just put that button, okay? But you also have to go onto this tab. And
we're literally gonna end it right now. Okay?
Are we?
Yeah. Let's say bye to the people. Let's thank
bye
them.
bye. What?
Alright, I just obviously thank you to the people who have stuck around, like appreciate Taz and stuff for helping us make sure that stream health is always good on the viewer end.
Cheers, bro.
Cheers, bruh.
Bruh.
But yeah, so I hope y'all enjoy but well, I suppose potentially watching this after it's no longer live. So
yeah, right. So yeah, we'll be back in about a month, maybe a bit more. I don't know. Couple of weeks. I don't know. It'll be when we fucking do.
Yeah, I have exams actually on the 10th and 13th of May, so yeah, we might be gone for a little while because I've got exams. But after that, it'll be good. It'll be Gucci.
Thanks for dropping by.
Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye bye.